Gronk,
What up, TB?
what do you think my next move should be? Give it to me straight. Maybe it's just time I hang him up.
I got one word for you. Retirement. If you retire now, you're gonna be walking on soft sand in a week.
Just come to Florida
And feel the wind in your hair. Retirement is like winning another one. Maybe I'll even join you.
On the Spotty Network, this is what Tom heard.
If you retire now, you're soft and weak.
Just come to Florida and win another one.
Maybe I'll even join you.
Just go win another one.
Like it's that easy, Gronk. Maybe it is. I still feel like I have a lot to accomplish.
My goal is to win one more.
And Gronk's coming with me.
I'm retired from retiring? Mom, where are my football pants?
Don't trust big decisions to just any network. Go with T-Mobile, the GOAT in 5G.
And I'm not soft or weak either.
T-Mobile is the leader in 5G.
UFO's Active Recovery. Because life keeps you on your toes. Because you want to shine when you rise. UFOam technology absorbs impact with every step, so your body doesn't have to. Because standing still gets you nowhere. Get yours today at ufos.com. Feel better. Feel the U.
My family earns respect.
My family clears bases.
My family breaks records.
My family wins MVPs.
My family gives everything.
My family makes history. My family wins championships.
There's no family.
There's no family.
There's no family.
There's no family like my family.
Join the fam.
Join the fam.
Join the fam.
Welcome back to the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network for today's matchup between the Hyannis Harbor Hawks and the Orleans Firebirds at Eldredge Park. I'm Bria Losick, and you usually see me on the sidelines, but today they're letting me take the reins for play-by-play. Very happy to be alongside my partner, Austin Dakuda. The Harbor Hawks come to Orleans with a 15-9-6 record after a 15-1 win over Wareham last night. It was called after just 7 innings, and everything seemed to be going right for the Harbor Hawks. All batters in the lineup ended up reaching base, but now they have to take on Orleans again for another cross-divisional matchup. The Firebirds are coming off a 2-0 win over Harwich, improving their record to 13-14-3. Now, Austin, the last time that we were here in Orleans, Don Patelli hit 2 home runs. That really started a big week of power for the Harbor Hawks.
Yeah, that power continued over last night as well, as the Hawks managed to strike for multiple runs. And we'll toss it to the field for the national anthem.
Thanks, you guys, and here are today's keys to the game to beat Orleans. Key number 3. If you want to beat the Firebirds, you got to chase their starter. Donye Evans is one of the best in the Cape Cod Baseball League. 16 innings, only 1 earned run allowed. He's not ERA eligible right now across the league standings. If he was, though, he'd be top 5 across Cape Cod. One of the best, it's an airplane, one of the best you're going to see. So you got to chase him. His walks aren't a total issue, but he's walked 8 in 16 innings. You can get his control kind of funky, get him in a funk, get him out of the game early. That's how you're going to win the ball game. Jake Berry is key number 2. How well does he throw and start on the mound? Now, we've seen him start really well. We've seen him come in relief really well. He's 2-0 on this season. I got a lot of confidence in Jake Berry. Berry needs to throw how Berry has thrown. Go 4 or 5 innings deep into this one, preferably 5. The bullpen's there, but if he goes 5 innings, gives you solid work. I'm confident the fastball will be there. If the off-speed's there with it, Harbor Hawks are in great shape. So number 1, chase their guy. Number 2, have your guy not get chased. And point 3, the last one, keep the offense going. Remember, Orleans, the last time these two teams play, our friend Dominic Patelli hit 2 home runs out at the ballpark. I don't know if he can go 434, but he can go that right side of the field again. Harbor Hawks will be quite okay. Put together a few home runs again tonight and put runs on the board. Orleans, as good as they have been defensively, as good as their pitching has been, they can't score runs. Their offense has been pretty dismal this season. You got to take advantage of that by scoring runs of your own via the long ball or even the small ball game. Did you know the Harbor Hawks are number 1 in this league in small ball? They have to do that again. If you can string together, my key, number 1, string together runs like you did yesterday, but not even just runs vaguely, 5 runs. If the Harbor Hawks can put together 5 runs today, I really think that'll be enough against a Firebird squad that doesn't score a ton. I don't really see them scoring a ton again today with Jake Berry on the bump and the guys in the bullpen that are ready to go for the Harbor Hawks. Those are the keys. Number 1, chase Donnie Evans. He's freaking good. Number 2, Jake Berry's got to go 5 innings. Give me 5 innings, low earned runs, maybe 1 or 2. Let your bullpen work your way out of it. No walks, pump the strike zone, and throw the breaking ball well. Key 1, score 5 runs. Just 5 runs, all I need. Maybe a home run or 2, make it flashy. More than 5 runs, you're looking really good. Folks, let's go in a ball game today. I'm feeling great. Back to you guys in the booth.
Thank you so much, Drake. We're definitely missing your presence here, hoping that you're feeling better soon. But right now, the two teams are about to start. We'll get you your starting lineups really quick. In the top of the first, it will be Mitch Jebb leading off, playing third, followed by Mike Sirota in right field. Then Cole McConnell will be DHing for the day, followed by Brendan Cumming, who makes his first start for the Harbor Hawks after his first appearance last night in Wareham. He's in center field. Then Pancho Ruiz follows him, catching today. Don Patelli in at shortstop, followed by Rocco Pepe in left field. Philip Matulia at first base once again, and rounding out the Harbor Hawks lineup is Riku Nishida at second base. The Harbor Hawks will be facing Donye Evans on the bump tonight. He comes in with just a .56 ERA for the Firebirds in his 5th appearance, and the first pitch comes in called strike, 0-1 count against Jebb.
Yeah, Mitch Jebb has continued to improve his reputation here on the Cape game by game. I mean, last night he continued to hit the ball hard. He had 2 hits, 3 runs batted in, a walk, and he added a...
Here comes the 0-1. Another strike right down the middle, 0-2 count.
And he just continues to play good defense too, Bria. Not only does he just rack up the offensive stats, raise his batting average to 300, but he does it on both sides of the field, and he's top 5 in the league in stolen bases.
The 0-2 swung on and popped up in the infield, and camping under it is Jones. He'll make the catch. So 1 out recorded so far. Up next comes Michael Sirota, playing right field today.
Ballpark seems quiet tonight for some reason. I mean, there's a lot of people here, but you're not getting a ton of, cheering yet. Maybe they're still getting settled in. But for Sirota, comes up. I mean, he's had quite the hot start too, right? Brewster releases him, wastes no time. He's already batting .462 for the Hawks, 6 hits. I mean, this guy is a pro hitter.
Here comes the first pitch to Sirota. Down low, 1-0 count. Yeah, Sirota last night was our roll bump player of the game, going 3 for 3 with a walk, 3 runs, and 5 RBIs.
Yeah, and a long ball too, I believe.
The 1-0. Called for a strike. 1-1 count now to Sirota.
His stats at Northeastern jump off the page too, and it's not surprising that
the 1-1 comes in.
It's like it just missed. Might have been a strike if he caught it. But for Sirota, I'm not surprised to see him hit the ball this well this early on in his time with the Harbor Hawks because he started to get into a groove in Brewster. His OBP was over 400, and now he's really swinging it well for the Hawks.
Here comes the pitch, and looks for a strike. So 1-2 count to Sirota now.
See if he goes back to that breaking ball.
Here comes the pitch, and pass ball by Burns.
Yeah, it went back to the breaking ball, but it hit in the dirt right near home plate and just took off, and looked like the slider that he throws 30% of the time. So expect a heavy dosage of that slider in addition to a fastball.
Evans gets sets and pitches. And another ball, so full count now.
Yeah, Donye Evans, 64% fastball, 30% slider, 5% changeup, and 1% of the time he throws a curveball. So if he throws 100 pitches today, he'll throw one curveball.
Here comes the payoff pitch. And down in the dirt, did he go? Yes, he did. Sirota can't believe it. Pulls his helmet off as he walks back into the dugout. But that leaves the plate for Cole McConnell, who's filling the designated hitter position today, usually in the outfield.
Yeah, you're going to want to keep his bat in the lineup now, batting .286 on the year with 14 runs driven in. Obviously, his glove is what he's known for, but his bat not far behind at all.
First pitch comes in, swung on and fouled back by McConnell. McConnell definitely coming in with a hot bat. The last 7 days, he's had a .333 batting average. One of the best in the league as Evans' pitch comes in, swung on again, and fouled backward. So Evans gets ahead early with an 0-2 count.
This is where he likes to go inside fastball to you, but to a left-handed hitter, it's also not a stretch to think he'll throw that backdoor slide or something that comes at your feet. And Cole McConnell certainly has the talent to fight it off.
The 0-2. Swung on and missed, and that ends the inning. So Donye Evans gets the Harbor Hawks going 1-2-3 in the top of the first. We'll head to the bottom of the inning with Jake Berry heading to the bump.
Diet Coke? Who are you, my mom?
You should be so lucky, because you know what moms do? Well, I suppose we should start with the whole giving you life thing. It seems like that should be enough. No? Okay. What about her ability to send shockwaves through the neighborhood without saying a word? Or whip up a ridiculous handmade costume that you forgot to tell her about? Not to make you happy, but because she had a reputation to uphold. She invented rideshare, called it carpool, and did it for free. She didn't need those dating apps either. You copied her jeans, her spin, her shoes, her scrunchie, and whether you realize it or not, her music.
Why not?
Oh, and she can win any argument in 4 words.
Because I said so.
Everything you're trying to do, she's already done it. Did it better. And she did it with a Diet Coke in her hand. So, drink what your mama gave you.
We're back on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network. This is Bria Losick alongside my partner, Austin Dakuda.
That's me.
And we're back in the bottom of the first inning. Jake Berry heads to the mound for another appearance for the Harbor Hawks. The 6'10" left-hander from Virginia comes in with a 1.58 ERA, 2 wins and no losses, and 11.1 innings pitched for Hyannis. Now, his last outing was July 9th against Bourne. It's one of those games that we don't really like to talk about too much here.
Yeah, that game against Bourne obviously ended pretty poorly if you're a Harbor Hawk fan, but for Jake Berry, he was as good as you could ask for. And starting that game, it was 4 innings of 1-run baseball for the big left-hander, and he's not going to overpower you. You look at his numbers on the season, just 6 punch-outs in his 11 1/3 innings of work, but everything is weak contact with this guy. You look at his scoring and the lines from the last game against Bourne. I don't know if many balls were hit on a line the entire night, and it's thanks to his pitch placement, also the movement he has on his pitches, and the home plate umpire does not have a brush. He has a rag to wipe the dirt off the plate. Sorry, I just noticed that one. That's interesting. Anyways, Jake Berry, though, on the mound, really good pitch mix, and a guy you're going to see locate without that much difficulty at all.
Well, he definitely put the Harbor Hawks in a position to win during his last outing, even though that wasn't the result. We'll see if he can do it again. He stands on the mound now facing his first batter, Nate Furman. Pitch comes in, upstairs, ball 1. Now Furman comes in from the University of North Carolina, Charlotte. He's batting .307 on the season. The 1-0 comes in again, up high, 2-0.
He's a guy they've moved around the lineup all year long, too. Saw him in the 2-hole before. He's batted third, maybe a little bit of cleanup. And with no Travis Honeyman in the lineup, Furman's going to be their leadoff guy thanks to his elite contact skills.
Barry gets set, and here comes the 2-0. Gets the outside corner called for him, 2-1 count now.
Pancho Ruiz doing the catching for Barry tonight. Did a nice job in his last start with framing pitches. That's really his expertise.
The 2-1, and popped up by Furman. It's going to shallow center field. Looks like Rocco Pepe takes care of that one for out number 1.
That's a good pitch by Barry. He jams the hitter, gets Furman to shoot one out to center field, just kind of on the handle of the bat. Weak fly ball, and Barry's going to test his defense. He is a guy who has a lot of confidence in the players behind him to make the plays they're supposed to make, and you're going to see a lot of that weak contact.
Well, now Luke Keischel comes to the plate, steps into the right side of the batter's box. University of San Francisco center fielder. Watches the first pitch go by him, called for a strike.
Yeah, Keischel might just be pound for pound their best hitter. I mean, 288, but the 4 homers, and he also had one against the Hawks last time we were here at Eldredge Park.
And he swings on that one. Did he go? Yes, he did. So count now 1-1. Excuse me, 0-2.
Well, it's hard to see the scoreboard here because we, in fact, can only see the Cardinal at the top of the scoreboard where we're seated. We are blocked from the rest of it.
The 0-2 pitch up high and saved by Poncho behind the plate. I would say that the last few games that Poncho's played, he's really improved defensively, Austin.
I'd say so. Now, Poncho's a guy known for his bat. Not that his defense is bad by any means, but his bat has been so good at San Diego State, that's what people talk about. But his defense continues to improve as he's gotten comfortable with the pitching staff, and I've noticed it in his blocking.
The 1-2 swung on and fouled off on the third base side, so count remains at 1-2.
Yeah, I've noticed it in his blocking and also his throwdowns, too. He's getting more accurate, especially the second base, and it's a steady improvement for the San Diego State star. Guy who started all but one game for them this spring. He's so durable and dependable.
Barry with the 1-2. Down and in the dirt, comes back to us behind the plate.
Oh, no. Did you hear that? He's here. The Cardinal guy is here. Look up on the hill. There's a guy in a Cardinal costume with the face cut out and the beak above his head. He's going to walk around the whole park and just yell, "Birds." There he is. You see him?
That's
up on
terrifying.
The hill? Oh, he'll come by here. He's not their official mascot. He's just here.
Here comes the pitch. Popped up foul into the crowd. Big crowd, as Austin mentioned.
Yeah.
That does include that menacing Firebird.
Yeah, he wasn't here the last time we were here, so I'm glad our whole crew gets to experience their wonderful unofficial mascot. As soon as I heard birds, I just knew. I recognized that sound.
Here comes the 2-2 from Barry. And popped up again. Keishal's really battling in this at-bat.
That's what he does so well. I mean, he really hits left-handed pitching much better than he does right-handed pitching. And he's real good against righties, too. An OPS of 1,100 against left-handers with 4 homers, 6 doubles. But he's going to go after he's going to go after it with 2 strikes. He's not going to strike out. He's going to fight off every pitch he can.
Here comes the 2-2. And it's hit to left field, but it lands foul. Don't really have much of a viewpoint. Have to stand up for any ball that's really hit left field, left center field. But
yeah, the toughest part is we can't even see the third base umpire, who ruled that one foul. We just had to hear kind of the surrounding sounds around us. But Kiesel just in front of that breaking ball. Now Berry's still ahead 1-2, Bria. A lot of or 2-2 still. A lot of different ways he can go at this pitch. We've seen him. Sorry, Bria. We've seen him at first base, shortstop, and center field. This guy is not only a dominant bat, but he can play anywhere on this field.
Berry takes a breath for a second, collects himself, gets set for the 2-2 pitch. Berry deals down in the dirt inside. So now full count for Berry.
Well, where do you go here against probably their best hitter? You can't just throw a fastball down the plate. So if you walk Keishel here, it's not the worst thing in the world because you look at his stats against left-handed pitching and you have an out.
Here comes the payoff pitch. Swung on for Berry's first strikeout of the evening, and Keishel goes home packing. So 2 outs now in the bottom of the first.
That's a dangerous pitch, but a really good one. Keishel was clearly on a fastball, way out in front, leaning in front of that pitch. And Berry looked like he dropped the changeup in on him, and he just leaning way out in front of it. Nice pitch by Jake Berry. Great call by Poncho Ruiz behind the dish, and that's a huge out number 2.
So now Cam Jones comes to the plate for the Firebirds, and Berry's first pitch to him comes in, swung on for strike 1. Jones comes in with a .308 batting average. Pitch comes in, fouled off first base side.
Cam Jones. Oh. I went to school with actually 3 people named Cam Jones.
Were any of them
No,
the Cam
no.
Jones in the batter's box?
None of them are the one in the batter's box.
The 0-2 pitch. And flied out to right field, but Michael Sirota will camp under it and catch it for out number 3. Berry heads to the dugout, going 1-2-3. So we will head to the top of the second. Your Harbor Hawks up will be Brendan Cummins, Poncho Ruiz, and Don Patelli. Stay right with us.
When it comes to buying or selling a home, you need a partner, not just an agent. For over 50 years, Gibson Sotheby's International Realty has set the standard in excellence and performance. A seasoned team that has thrived throughout all markets. Our agents live and work in your neighborhood and understand you. We are over 170 agents strong, backed by an in-house marketing team and global reach that is second to none.
From studios to penthouses, purchasing to renting, our team provides unparalleled real estate services.
This is your time to change your career, to advance your skills, to follow your dream. Curry College Continuing and Graduate Studies. Tomorrow is coming. Be ready.
I'm defeated, feel mistreated. I'm so angry, I'm singing a song. 'Cause I'm paying so much for home internet, and that's just wrong.
I've got T-Mobile home internet. I feel happy. Great. Very happy.
Good for you.
Look how much money I'm saving right now.
Wait, really?
There's no hidden fees, no price hikes, one core.
Bro, wow.
Internet without BS.
We're here at the top of the second inning. Brendan Cummins is at the plate right now. Just swung on an 0-2 count.
Looks like it was caught down the left field line. It was tough to see by who, but it appears the left fielder made the grab, so Cummins goes back to the dugout.
And now coming to the plate is the catcher, Poncho Ruiz.
I mean, we talked a little bit about how good of a bat Poncho has, and we talked at Fenway Park with a couple scouts, and they were really impressed by his power, putting the ball into the monster regularly, and he can just harness that a bit with the wood bat and get into a groove. It could start to show itself on the Cape.
And he chops one to the second baseman. It'll be a tough play, but in time. So that's a quick 2 outs for Evans right away.
He just flipped that one out of his glove, the second baseman Beard over to first. What a play by him, athletic, Smooth transition. Poncho got down the line pretty quickly there, made it a closer play than I thought it might be. But for Evans, not only with the strikeouts, with 2 of those in the first, but now weak contact, he's starting to settle in. And if you're Don Patelli, you're familiar with Eldredge Park, maybe jump on a fastball early in this at-bat.
The first pitch to Patelli, outside for ball 1, 1-0 count. Yeah, last time Patelli was here, he had quite a night.
2 long balls, and they were both crushed. I mean, they were no doubters.
Here's the 1-0, swung on by Patelli, evens the count to 1-1.
One of the unique dimensions here at Eldredge Park is that it's 434 feet to dead center field. Now, not many people have hit a home run to dead center field, but there are fans out there waiting in case one happens tonight.
The 1-1 pitch comes in outside and in the dirt, 2-1 now. Evans making a very quick pace so far.
Yeah, he works quickly, and it's kind of no nonsense. Gets the ball right back on the bump, and he's going to bring you an 0-2.
Here's the 2-1, swung on again by Patelli, so evens up the count to 2-2.
He really stays fastball and then slider. Those are his 2 pitches. We mentioned changeup 5% of the time, but we haven't really seen a ton of it tonight. It's the slider and it's the power fastball combined with elite location.
Well, he already has 2 strikeouts tonight, looking to get another one, and swung on and missed once again by Patelli, and that will end the inning. So again, another 1-2-3 inning for Donye Evans, and we'll head to the bottom of the second. Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
When you need a better place to work, CapeSpace is the place to turn. In today's changing work environment, shared workspaces offer a flexible and affordable alternative to conventional office space. At CapeSpace, we offer a wide range of membership packages to suit your professional needs, complete with office amenities like high-speed Wi-Fi, coffee, printing stations, reception service, and private meeting rooms. Visit our website today to learn more.
UFOS Active Recovery. Because life keeps you on your toes. Because you want to shine when you rise. UFOM technology absorbs impact with every step, so your body doesn't have to. Because standing still gets you nowhere. Get yours today at ufos.com. Feel better. Feel the U.
Back at Eldredge Park for the bottom of the second. Jake Berry returns to the mound after a 1-2-3 inning in the bottom of the first. Austin, what have you liked so far from Berry?
I've liked his location. He hasn't walked anybody yet. I mean, we said 1-2-3, but he was dangerously close to walking Luke Keishel, and his changeup, probably the best changeup he's thrown in a little while. I mean, the command on it's looked good tonight, and when you have your secondary pitches working like Jake Berry does tonight, it could be a long and successful night. So I really liked his command in the first and being able to bear down and get Keishel in a full count.
Well, now the first batter he faces is Isaac Humphrey from Louisville. Berry's pitch comes in upstairs for ball 1, 1-0 count.
Humphrey really just getting started with the Firebirds, really picked up his average as of late, does have a home or 2.
The 1-0, right over the heart of the plate, 1-1 count now.
That's a tough pitch for a left-handed hitter to do much with, because it starts at your knees, your front hip kind of, and breaks right over the plate. You think it's inside, you kind of give up on it, and it ends up, like you said, right down the middle.
Lefty-lefty matchup here. Berry comes in with the next pitch, upstairs, 2-1 count.
Now let's see the velocity on that fastball. Might have been the hardest one he's thrown.
You definitely hear it.
Oh, 93.
Right
that was quite the speedy pitch there by Jake.
You could hear it right when it hit Poncho's mitt. Now another pitch comes in for a strike. So 2-2 count now for Berry early against Humphrey. Berry deals, swung on and hit to right field, but Mike Sirota makes the catch, and that's an easy first out for Berry.
What jumps out to me after that out is Mike Sirota in right field. He got a great jump on that ball. At first, off the bat, it looked like a sinking line drive, but he got there in plenty of time. His speed combined with his instincts in the outfield what's going to make him an everyday player for the Hawks.
Now coming to the plate for the Firebirds is Jack Bulger. He watches first pitch go by, called for a strike.
Jack Bulger was the starting catcher last time we played the Firebirds. Today he's in left field. For one thing we know about Kelly Nicholson is he likes to move guys around.
The 0-1 swung on by Bulger, so Barry gets ahead quickly. 0-2 count with 1 out here in the bottom of the second inning. Barry stares ahead, gets set and delivers. Chop to Patelli at short. He gathers it and loses the ball. So a rare error by Patelli, and now the Firebirds have a base runner.
Yeah, it was a slow chopper, one that Dom Patelli would have to hurry on, and one that was a tough play, something that he probably makes more times than not. And they may just rule it an error. We'll see what the official scoring comes in as, but certainly bobbled. And I think if he fielded that cleanly, Bray, he probably had Bulger at first.
And they count it as a hit.
Yeah, infield single. I mean, I could see that one going either way. Makes sense. Tough play to make if you're Dom, and Bulger does have surprising speed for a catcher.
Here comes the first pitch to J.D. Urso, fouled off behind us.
Urso is nearly brand new to Orleans, 1 for 3 on his young Cape League career.
Now time is called, so steps out of the box.
Once the sun goes down here, beautiful view. While the sun's up, I gotta put my hand up to shade it from us and my computer.
You forgot the shades today, Austin?
Yeah, can't wear the shades and glass at the same time, unfortunately.
And the pitch comes in and a quick throw down to first base, but the runner gets back safely.
That's another thing. You asked me earlier what I liked from Poncho behind the plate. His pickoffs to first base. He's so much quicker now, and he hasn't hesitated. Before in the season, you might see a slight hitch in his delivery to first on a snap throw from him, but now there's some confidence that he has in his first baseman, whether it's Matulia or Chanul, that they're going to be at the bag, and he just goes right away as he did on that throw.
Here he comes in with the 1-1, swung on and fouled off on the third base side. So 1-2 count now with 1 out and a base runner on first. That's Bulger.
A little bit of wind again tonight. Not really anything that should dictate where the ball goes, but you get one up to right field like Don Patelli did last time we were here. Could get a little help.
Barry gets set and throws to first base, runner safe. So Barry comes back onto the mound. A big difference between the two starting pitchers today. Barry likes to collect himself, take some time. Donye Evans really pushing the pace.
Yeah, especially with guys on base. Barry will work a little quicker, change up his time to the plate.
And that's fouled off by Urso. Count stays at 1-2.
And it helps Jake, too, keep runners at first base, keep him at bay, because he's not the quickest guy to home plate in his delivery, but when he changes up the time in between pitches, when he changes up, once he comes set, sometimes he'll count to 3 and he'll go home. Sometimes it's 5, sometimes it's 7. He really keeps the guys off balance at first.
The 1-2. And hit out to left field. Runner comes around to third, slides in safely, and that is a stand-up double for Urso. Just comes into the Orleans lineup just yesterday and already has a second hit of his Firebirds career.
Gonna be interesting to see what they score this one, because I thought it may have just snuck underneath the glove of Mitch Jebb, but it was really tough to see. So now, I mean, second and third here for Jake Barry. You've made a couple of good pitches. You had an infield single to short and one that just got by Jebb at third, and you're in some trouble here.
So that brings Logan Beard to the plate. 1 out and runners on second and third. Barry's pitch comes in high. Beard holds up.
Yeah, and they do rule that an E5 on Mitch Jebb on the last one. Just got behind the glove underneath the legs, so second and third, and Jake Berry very well could have been out of this inning.
Here comes the 1-0. And just inside, so 2-0 count now. And we've seen already in this inning an unusual misplay by Don Patelli at short and then an error from Mitch. Two mistakes that you really don't see this infield make, and that's not really great with Barry on the mound, who's not a big strikeout guy and really plays the contact. Here comes the pitch, swung on for the first strike, 2-1 count.
Exactly. When Barry's going to pitch to contact, you have to be on your A game, because in a situation like this, Bria, is he going to overpower Logan Beard and get a strikeout to get out of the jam? Probably not. He's going to induce more contact. So you have to make the plays that are given to you on the field.
The 2-1 popped up behind and into the crowd. So count evens to 2-2, and the great thing about Eldredge Park is that there's a nice grass area on the first base side. People come and put their chairs down at 9 a.m.
I think some leave them here overnight. They're playing back-to-back games at home. But yeah, I would be interested to see, you know, because when we got here, there's probably 100 already set up. Be interesting to see at 9 a.m. people just come in, drive by, drop their lawn chairs off.
The 2-2, and fouled off again into the crowd on the first base side.
Poor kid. Had it in his glove, but just dropped it. Would have been a nice souvenir, but now it's for somebody else's kid. That's too bad.
Maybe the bird will get it.
Yeah, I don't know where. We've lost track of him. Hopefully he stays far away from the – oh, he's in right field, right behind the foul line.
I do see him.
Yep. He's ready to field a ground ball.
The 2-2. And that's inside. Barry does not get the call that he wants. A couple words from the dugout, but that brings the count full.
Yeah, even if you walk him here, as the infield remains in, Bria, it's not the worst thing in the world, because now you induce the force at any base in an inning double play. But if you're Jake Berry, you'd love to get Logan Beard out and not have to deal with the man on deck, McClory.
The payoff pitch, and swung on. So Barry gets his second strikeout of the day. So now 2 outs, 2 on second and third. And Nick McCloughy comes to the plate.
We said Jake Berry in these situations may not bear down and get a punch out. Well, he does exactly that, and he gets the punch out. So I was wrong. But Berry is showing a little bit more tonight than we've seen in other outings. He's really locating the fastball a bit better, and seemed to have more velo on it tonight too. And you're seeing the hitters just stay constantly off balance, but what a massive strikeout that was.
Comes the first pitch, and McCloughy shows bunt, pulls back.
Yeah, another relatively new addition to the Orleans lineup. McClary is 5 for 46 this year, so not the hottest of starts. That's good for a 108 average, but he doesn't have the sample size as some of the other guys do.
Barry gets set, and here comes the 1-0. And in there for a strike, so count evens to 1-1. So 2 outs in the bottom of the second. 1-1 count for Barry as he has 2 on. Trying to work out of this jam against McCloughy.
Nick. N-I-K.
There's another strike from Barry, so 1-2 count now.
It's like Nick Stauskas, the Boston Celtics guard. N-I-K. I like it. It's unique. Well, if you're Jake Berry, you've kind of done it yourself this inning. You had a couple errors behind you, and now you're 1 strike away from getting out of trouble.
Here comes the pitch, and swung on, so a strikeout to end the inning. Barry strands 2 runners on second and third. We will head to the top of the third. This is Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
When Alaska Airlines needed a partner for the complex operations of travel, they made the switch to T-Mobile. Our 5G has Alaska Airlines and their customers covered, from major hubs to remote destinations, with 5G coverage ready now for the demands of today and the future. T-Mobile's network powers Alaska Airlines as they deliver next-level care for all customers. 5G ready now. That's how unconventional thinking is better for business.
Tastes like a Coke.
We nailed it!
Coke Zero Sugar. Have they nailed it?
Sounds like they really nailed it, huh?
Nailed it. And that's when you said... So it really tastes like a Coke.
Yeah, that's the point.
Back at Eldredge Park for the top of the third. Score is still tied at 0. Danye Evans returns to the mound for the Firebirds. He worked 2 quick 1-2-3 innings, but in the bottom of the second, the Firebirds tested Jake Berry a little bit, getting 2 base runners on.
Yep, that fastball sits 88 to 92, tops out at 95, and he drops that slider down to as low as 79. And Bria, I think that's what's given the Hawks trouble today, is the speed difference in those 2 pitches.
First pitch comes into Rocco Pepe, called for a strike.
That's the slider. He loves to pepper the inside part of the plate to right-handed hitters too, with that slider especially. Throw that 33% of the time for the first pitch to righties.
The 0-1 and swung on by Pepe. He'll step out for a second, now down 0-2.
I'd have to step out too. This guy's come at you with back-to-back sliders to 2 of the nastiest pitches we've seen tonight, and they've been well executed.
The 0-2 pitch, and swung on by Pepe, and tagged out. The ball was in the dirt.
Yeah. He just dissected Rocco Pepe with 3 straight sliders, 2 inside that come at your knees and go over the plate for strikes. The third one, I mean, bounces in left-handed hitter's box. That's how you know Pepe was sitting a fastball just way out in front, swinging that one in the dirt. But, man, Danye Evans, it looks as good as they come so far tonight.
Well, he's already registered 4 strikeouts.
Ah, that is good for him, not for the Hawks.
Here comes the first pitch to Matulia, swung on once again, ball in the dirt.
It's that slider. It's so nasty. It just dives right off the plate, and he can throw it different ways where it, seems to have more tail and dip on one of them, but then the next one just moves across the plate.
The 0-1 and grounded to Jones at first base. He'll flip it to Evans for the out. So another quick 2 outs for Evans, but now maybe the toughest out in the Cape League comes to the plate in Riku Nishida.
This is exactly the guy you want at the plate when you're still searching for your first base runner of the ball game. And Evans has only thrown 26 pitches through 2 2/3, and well, Riku Nishida is probably going to go up there and try to make him throw 5-6 pitches this at bat, because Hawks are really struggling to make him work on the mound.
And we've seen Evans really with a quick tempo, but watch that be slowed down by Nishida. He has a whole array of antics. So the first pitch comes in, down and inside for ball 1.
That's exactly what Riku's doing, Bria. He's taking right-handed practice swings, stepping out of the box, making Evans wait in between pitches, get him off his tempo.
The 1-0 comes in, and Riku shows bunt, but fouled off on the third base side, so 1-1 count now.
I like the idea. Drop a push bunt to third. You're still searching for your first base runner. Just got behind it. The barrel has to be out in front of the plate a little bit more for Riku. Let that pitch get too far in on his hands, which made it shoot down the third base line.
Riku has now improved his batting average to .282 on the season. And swings on the pitch, grounded to short, and recorded for the third out of the inning. So once again, 1-2-3 for Evans. He's retired all 9 batters for the Harbor Hawks. We'll see if Jake Berry can do the same in the bottom of the inning.
What are you looking forward to? Adding a takeout window.
And more locations.
Paying off my student loans.
Juggling my 4 small businesses and staying sane.
Raising my allowance.
Finishing my painting and starting the next one.
Catching a keeper. Cashing anything.
Making the most of my retirement.
Checking my balance and hopefully having one.
Whatever you want for your family, your business, or your community, talk to us at Cape Cod 5 because we're looking forward to helping you.
This is your time to change your career, to advance your skills, to follow your dream. Curry College Continuing and Graduate Studies. Tomorrow is coming. Be ready.
Coke Zero is now Coke Zero Sugar, with great Coke taste. Some people were excited to hear the news, some were skeptical. So we're not gonna have the star of the show you're watching come out and say, "You'll love it." No special jingle written by this week's hottest pop star. No famous internet celebs who happen to be holding the label just so. Okay, maybe just one little pour shot. The only thing that will make you believe Coke Zero Sugar has great Coke taste is trying it yourself. Ice cold Coke Zero Sugar. Try one today.
So Jake Berry returns to the mound for the bottom of the third inning. And he will face Connor Burns to start off in the 9-hole. Burns coming in from Long Beach State. I think we know a couple guys from Long Beach, don't we?
Definitely heard the name more times this year than I ever have in my life. Long Beach State, Rocco Pepe, Zach Volker, formerly of Long Beach State, and well, here's another one. And it seems like Long Beach State has guys all over this league. I know Falmouth has a couple.
His first pitch comes into Burns, called for a strike.
Burns known for his defense, the 2022 Big West Defensive Player of the Year.
The 0-1 pitch. And another strike, so Berry gets ahead early, 0-2.
Yeah, and known for his defense, as I just mentioned, he hit 162 in 130 at-bats at college, so might not get as much from him at the plate as you'd hope.
The 0-2 popped up on the first base side. Pachulia is in foul territory looking for it, but just goes into the crowd.
It's a tough one to track, too, with the sun setting, get some shade, some sunlight, and fortunately for Matulia, he did lose it at one point, but he was able to pick it back up, but it just landed on the other side of the net. And as I mentioned, Burns not the big bat that you're going to get out of your catcher spot. 4 for 32 this year, but 2 of those 4 hits are home runs.
Now Berry comes back with the 0-2. Upstairs for ball 1, 1-2 count.
See where he goes here. I mean, he's utilized the fastball early, the changeup late. We'll see if that trend continues.
The 1-2, and Burns goes down looking for the first out of the bottom of the third.
That wasn't the changeup, was the breaking ball. Looked like the curve that he just dropped right over the plate. Great pitch by Jake Berry, and he looks just as sharp as ever so far through these 2 1/3. And 4 strikeouts, Bria. He had 6 and 11 1/3 coming in, so he's found a strikeout pitch.
Now it returns to the top of the order for the Firebirds. Nate Furman returns to the batter's box. He flew out to center his first time up. Now Berry's pitch comes in outside for a ball, 1-0 count.
Where'd the bird guy go? I got to keep an eye on him every inning. I want him sneaking up on us, Bria.
The 1-0. And just gets the outside corner. So 1-1 count now. Still looking for the bird.
Now he's out there in right center.
Oh my gosh, I see it. I see the bird now. I really need the bird to go into left field, so
yeah, we don't want to look.
I don't have that line of vision. The 1-1 pitch comes in down low. 2-1 count now.
Again, if you're just joining us, there is a Cardinal mascot here at Orleans for the Firebirds. He's not the team mascot, but he wears a Cardinal costume with the face cut out and the beak above his head, and he walks around the field and yells, "Go Birds."
2-1 count. Grounded to the first base side. Matulia picks it up and falls down, but flips it to Berry for the out. So 2 down for Berry in the bottom of the third.
Nice recovery by Phil Matulia, and great job by Jacob Berry to get over and cover the bag. At 6'10", he doesn't move the fastest over there, but he beat out a speedy Nate Furman. That's a nice out number 2 for a guy who's now retired 4 straight batters.
Now Luke Keischel comes to the plate. First time he was up, he struck out. One of 4 birds to go down by the K today. Berry's pitch comes into Keischel, swung on and missed. 0-1 count.
That is a phenomenal off-speed pitch. Keischel really hits the changeup well, but it's the slider and the curve he struggles on, so expect him. There's another.
And hit out to center field. That'll drop in the gap over Pepe's head. And Keischel will go upstanding to second base for a 1-out double, or 2-out double.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, it's not the worst thing in the world to make a mistake to their best hitter with 2 outs, as long as the ball doesn't leave the yard, and it nearly did. Hit one right to the 350 sign in left center. Fortunately for Berry now, he gets to face Cam Jones with 2 outs in the man in scoring position. And if you're going to make a mistake to Luke Keischel, that's where it should be, with nobody on and 2 outs. Not a bad place to miss. You know not to go back there next at bat.
So now 2 outs, a runner on second for Berry, facing Cam Jones. Flew out to right field his first time up. Pitch comes in and grounded to Patelli at short. He'll make the throw in time for out number 3. So Berry strands one, and we will head to the top of the 4th. Score still 0-0 here at Eldredge Park.
That chip on the shoulder, that started at a very, very young age. People's expectations are, they're cool, they're fun, but mine are bigger.
When you play in New York, they want to see winners. It doesn't matter if it's a Monday or a Friday or a Saturday. You gotta come with it, or those fans will let you know.
Pick one thing from me, pick one other thing from another player, make it your own. You turn to who you want to be.
What motivates me is the unknown. You know, how good can I be? You get away from the lights, you get away from the camera.
Mientras más presente yo esté en la caja de batería, más éxito tengo.
Man, how can you not keep it fun, man? This is a kid's game.
If you could go back and tell 10-year-old Francisco one thing, what would it be?
You're a bad mother.
So now we are back here for the top of the 4th. Mitch Jebb returns to the plate for the 2nd time today, facing Evans. First pitch comes in down low for ball 1.
Well, if you're the Hawks, you have not gotten a base runner just yet, but now 2nd time through the lineup is where you have a chance to strike on this talented right-handed pitcher.
The 1-0 comes in and called for a strike, so count evens to 1-1, and last time Mitch was up, he popped up to the first baseman. Harbor Hawks yet to have a base runner in this game. So Evans comes in with the pitch, and outside and down low for ball number 2.
Jebb's a really patient hitter at the plate, too. So he'll wait for a pitch that he can hit, even if it's on the outside part of the plate, and it will be a strike.
The 2-1, and flied out to right field, but underneath it is Humphrey. So out number 1 registered for Evans, and he's retired 10 straight.
It's probably the hardest hit ball that the Harbor Hawks have hit all night tonight, as Jebb really hit that one well to right field, just got under it a bit, but managed to, there we go, there's the Cardinal.
Now Mike Sirota comes to the plate.
The yellow Converse is what he's got on for shoes. I thought they were like Cardinal feet, but they're just yellow Converse. Anyways.
Mike Sirota watches first ball come in for a strike. Now the 0-1 pitch swung on. So 0-2 count now, but thank you so much for the bird updates, Austin.
Yeah, I mean, I wish Drake Toll and Zach Berman both missing out on the bird.
They would get a load of this. The 0-2 down in the dirt, and Sirota watches it go by, so 1-2 count now. Sirota last time he was up struck out. It's a good plate discipline there to watch that one go by. Austin's still looking at the bird, but here comes the pitch and fouled off first base side.
Yeah, when I look at the field, I see a talented, and I mean talented, right-handed pitcher by Donye Evans. He gets to allow a base runner, 27 strikes, just 10 balls all night long, and that slider, every time he throws it, it looks so good, but it just dives right off the plate.
Donye delivers and inside just gets out of the glove of Burns, so 2-2 count. So 1 out in the top of the 4th. Mike Sirota at the plate. Here comes the 1-2. And hit out over the shortstop to left field for a single, and now the Harborhawks have their first base runner of the game.
That's a great piece of hitting by Mike Sirota. It was a breaking ball. It looked like the slider that just hung up a bit. He waited it out and just did everything he could to put that one in play. Nice job by Sirota. Even if his front foot was ahead a bit, he still waited back and lined it to left field, and now the Hawks are in business with their meat of the order up.
Sirota picking up right where he left off yesterday, going 3 for 3 against Wareham. Now handed it off to Cole McConnell in the batter's box. He watches the first ball go outside for ball 1.
And Donye Evans, it's amazing to see the numbers he's putting up here. He's only pitched 18 2/3 at Vanderbilt.
And McConnell flies one on the right field side. And that's out of there. Barely saw that one. But McConnell with a home run to get the Hawks up early.
Whew. Cole McConnell just turned on that ball and kept it fair by maybe 2 feet. He said the Hawks were in business with the meat of their order up, and with Cole McConnell swinging the bat the way he has this week, a couple home runs that get to it, another one here at Orleans. The Hawks get their first hit just an at-bat ago. Their next hit, 2-run home run, they got the lead.
And now you can hear the bullpen really loving that shot by McConnell.
I didn't think, I mean, off the bat, it didn't look like it was going to be a home run. Cole kind of watched it to see if it was going to stay fair, and it just, I mean, 314 to right, it just got to the left of that pole.
Now Brendan coming up to the plate. Facing Evans for the second time. His first time up, he flew out to left field. But yeah, that ball just barely snuck in on that right field pole line.
Yeah, I mean, what a big hit, too. Evans came into the inning, 3 perfect, and then got the first out here. The Hawks jumped on a hanging slider and turned on another one, and they're now in business.
Now the 1-1 popped up behind us. So 1-2 count now for Cumming.
Well, right behind the field, it's parallel to the third base line. There's a road, probably, 30 feet from the fence to the road, and that gets peppered with fly balls and foul balls all game long.
The 1-2 pitch inside, and it hits Cumming, so another base runner for the Harborhawks in the top of the 4th.
Yeah, I mean, luckily it was an off-speed pitch that hit him, but it hit him right in the back, right in the middle. That's going to definitely leave a bruise. And now Connor Burns is going to have a chat with Evans, who has allowed a single, a 2-run home run, and now a hit by pitch. And that's why you're starting to see is a little bit of an unfinished product on the mound. While his numbers down to the Cape have been sensational, at Vanderbilt they were still looking for him to find his complete groove. Their head coach, Tim Corbin, has a quote out there on Donye. He says, when he stepped onto campus, he had a long way to go last year, but he's transformed himself academically, athletically, and physically, and he only got limited time on the mound, but he's trending in a good direction, which all in all kind of tells you he's kind of a project as a pitcher, but one that they definitely are very high on, and there's a reason he's down here in the Cape League.
Now he faces Pancho Ruiz for the second time. First time Pancho came up, he grounded out to second base. The pitch comes in up high. 2-0 count now.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if, I wouldn't be surprised rather, if Orleans starts to get somebody throwing in the bullpen after the last few batters.
Evans gets set and delivers, and chopped foul on the third base line. So 2-1 count now for Pancho Ruiz. He's still trying to find his way offensively. He's batting just 153 on the season. Has an opportunity here with Cummings on first. This pitch comes in and just low, so 3-1 count.
He's shown some improved patience at the plate in the last couple weeks too, as you're seeing it here, Bria. The couple of balls that Evans has thrown haven't missed the plate by much, but Pancho's certainly getting more comfortable with the strike zone down here in the Cape League.
The 3-1 pitch, and Pancho watches that one go down low, so he will take his base via the walk. And up comes one of the hottest hitters for the Harbor Hawks, Dom Patelli, who, like we mentioned, has had some success at Eldredge Park.
Yeah, the swing by Cole McConnell, certainly reminiscent of what Dom Patelli did here about a week ago with his 2 home runs to right field, and he's certainly in a position here to break this game open. If Patelli can get a pitch inside that he can turn on, could be dangerous, as now we see a mound visit with Evans. So we've seen Burns go out there. That didn't help too much as he walked the next batter now. Pitching coach heads out there, and they'll see if they can get Evans squared away a bit.
Burns trots back behind the plate. Evans dealing with 2 base runners on first and second with 1 out. Facing Dom Patelli, who comes in with a .250 average, 3 home runs, 2 of those at this ballpark. First pitch comes in, and Dom shows bunt, bunted to the right side, and overthrown by the third baseman, so a run comes in. That's Cummings. Pancho Ruiz goes to third, and Patelli goes to second on the throwing error.
Well, as our friend Drake Toll likes to say, when it rains, it pours. Donye Evans, even when he's throwing a strike there, Dom Patelli lays down a beautiful bunt. Evans comes off the mound and tries to make a heroic play, and instead he throws it down the right field line. So Patelli gets a single and then will advance to second. Run scores on the error by Evans. And now the Hawks are up 3-0, Bria, with second and third and still 1 out, as 5 straight Hawks have reached safely.
And up to the plate now is Rocco Pepe. He's hanging out in left field today for the Hawks. Struck out his first time up. First pitch comes in into the dirt, so 1-0 count. So after really a phenomenal start, retiring the first 10 batters that he faces, the train's kind of coming off the rails for Evans right now.
Yeah, just a bit. You watch the first 3 innings, you're thinking this kid's a all-star caliber pitcher, and then unfortunately in this inning, it's been a little bit of the opposite.
He gets Pepe to swing, so 1-1 count now.
That's where these guys are going to learn. I mean, we mentioned it, it's the second time through the lineup a lot of young pitchers have trouble. And with Evans really relying on 2 pitches, it's going to be the development of his third that helps.
Pepe hits one out to left center field, and Pancho will trot in, and Patelli also right behind him. So 2 more runs score for the Harbor Hawks in this 5-run 4th inning.
Well, they didn't have a hit through the first 3, but they are certainly all over the baseball here. And another one. This time it's Rocco Pepe with a hit that drives in 2 more, and the Hawks are certainly hot at the dish. 15 runs yesterday. How about 5 more today? And we got plenty of baseball left, and they've even chased Donye Evans out of this game.
So Donye Evans returning to the Firebirds dugout. We'll get you the name of the new pitcher soon, but we will be right back with you on Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
My family earns respect.
My family clears bases.
My family breaks records.
My family wins MVPs.
My family gives everything.
My family makes history.
My family wins championships.
There's no family.
There's no family. There's no family.
There's no family like my family. Join the fam.
Join the fam.
Join the fam.
Bronk,
What up, TB?
what do you think my next move should be? Give it to me straight. Maybe it's just time I hang him up.
I got one word for you. Retirement. If you retire now, you're gonna be walking on soft sand in a week. Just come to Florida and feel the wind in your hair. Retirement is like winning another one. Maybe I'll even join you.
On the Spotty Network, this is what Tom heard.
If you retire now, you're soft and weak. Just come to Florida and win another one. Maybe I'll even join you. Just go win another one.
Like it's that easy, Gronk. Maybe it is.
I still feel like I have a lot to accomplish. My goal is to win one more. And Gronk's coming with me.
I'm retired from retiring? Mom, where are my football pants?
Don't trust big decisions to just any network. Go with T-Mobile, the GOAT in 5G.
And I'm not soft or weak either.
T-Mobile is the leader in 5G.
Back here on Harbor Hawks Baseball Network, it is still the top of the fourth. 5 runs have come in for the Harbor Hawks, and now they're facing a new pitcher in Cole Reynolds. Matulia watches that one go by for a strike.
Yeah, Cole Reynolds, really 4 pitches he'll throw, or primarily 3. Fastball, changeup, slider. He has a curve in his arsenal, doesn't throw it a ton. You're going to see 67% fastball tonight.
Pitch comes in, gets the corner, so 0-2 count now on Matulia.
Talk about doing your job out of the bullpen, Bria. 2 pitches, 2 strikes, and you've settled in really quickly.
Reynolds gets set and delivers. Swung on and missed. So Matulia heads to the dugout for out number 2 in the top of the 4th and gives way for Riku Nishida, the 9th batter in this inning.
And that at-bat where they attacked Phil Matulia, they really did a good job. They started inside on him, go outside, then finish him off with a high fastball. Really good job by Connor Burns. That's why you're seeing him get a ton of praise for his defense and his game calling. Might not find a better catcher at calling a game in the Cape League than Connor Burns, but now he's got a tough task because he's got to attack Riku Nishida.
Nishida grounded out to short his first time up. Now Reynolds throws to first.
Keeping Rocco Pepe close over there. I mean, the Hawks, the most aggressive team on the base paths in the Cape Cod Baseball League. I'll get you those numbers after this pitch.
Reynolds looks to first and throws once again, but Pepe gets back safely. So Pepe living rent-free in Reynolds' mind.
Yeah, that's what, 4 pickoff moves, and for good reason. The Hawks have 66 stolen bases, good for first in the league. Bria, they lead that category by 13. The next closest team is Brewster at 53. And to put it into perspective, Brewster has been caught 2 more times than the Hawks, but stolen 13 less bases.
Wow.
So the Hawks not only run early and often, they are incredibly good at it, and they don't get caught often.
Pitch comes in, Nishida bounce in the dirt, but nice block there by Burns to keep the ball in front of him and keeps Pepe at first.
Yeah, Pepe had a chance to go to second there if he broke right away, but the Hawks are aware of how good Burns is defensively, so they're kind of aware that if he blocks a pitch, it's probably not going to go far as it did there, so you have to kind of read it right, but it's definitely a safer play there by Pepe.
Pitch comes in to Nishida upstairs for ball 2, so 2-1 count now. Riku gives a little nod to the ump, saying, yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, Riku doesn't take many strikes. If he's going to go down, he's going to go down swinging.
The 2-1 and chopped to the left side and thrown to second base for the third out of the inning, but not before the Harbor Hawks put up a 5 spot in the top of the fourth. And we will head to the bottom of the inning here on Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Tastes like a Coke.
We nailed it!
Coke Zero Sugar.
Have they nailed it?
Sounds like they really nailed it, huh?
Nailed it. And that's when you said, so it really tastes like a Coke.
Yeah, that's the point.
When it comes to buying or selling a home, you need a partner, not just an agent. For over 50 years, Gibson Sotheby's International Realty has set the standard in excellence and performance. A seasoned team that has thrived throughout all markets. Our agents live and work in your neighborhood and understand you. We are over 170 agents strong, backed by an in-house marketing team and global reach that is second to none.
From studios to penthouses, purchasing to renting, our team provides unparalleled real estate services.
If you live here, fun is your thing. If you live here, tough is your thing. Smart is your thing. Caring is your thing. If you live in Massachusetts, community is your thing. Since 1972, the Massachusetts State Lottery has provided over $25 billion to help cities and towns with the things they need most. If you live here, giving is your thing.
So back here at the bottom of the fourth inning, Jake Berry comes back onto the bump, now with a lot more run support with it, as the Harbor Hawks put up 5 runs in the top of the inning.
Well, the only downside is he was sitting for about 30 minutes while the Hawks put up the 5 spot and sent 9 batters to the plate, but now he can breathe a bit on the mound and afford to make a mistake.
The first pitch comes in to Humphrey, called for a strike. Barry nods at Ruiz behind the plate, gets set and delivers, bounced in the dirt for ball 1, 1-1 count. Humphrey flew out to right field last time he was up. Now the pitch comes in and hits Humphrey's elbow, so a leadoff base runner for the Firebirds, trying to create something now in the bottom of the inning.
Well, Jake Berry's breaking ball drops down to as low as, what, 70, I want to say? And that was every bit of 70 miles an hour off the elbow. It was probably the slowest pitch I've seen somebody get hit with, and Humphrey didn't even react. He just kind of dropped the bat and went to first. So now Jake Berry, maybe you're seeing the effects of him sitting for a while with the location off a bit. Has to deal with a tough hitter in the form of Bulger.
So lefty-lefty matchup here for Bulger, who singled his first time up in the bottom of the second. First pitch comes in, and Bulger shows bunt, pulls back. They're saying he did not go around, so 1-0 count.
That was a close one, but I think it's the right call. It looks like he showed bunt until probably the last possible second and pulled it back when he realized the pitch was at his eyes.
So runner off first for Barry, looks there and delivers home, down and inside, 2-0 count. And now pitching coach Kevin Ohm will come to the bump to talk to Barry a little bit, probably settle him down.
Yeah, like I said, he was sitting for 30 minutes, right? It's not easy to stay fresh, stay warm, and remain locked in during that time when your team's putting up a ton of runs, and I think you're seeing the effects of that. A hit by pitch early on in the inning, and then the next batter follows it up with a couple of missed pitches. So now Kevin Ohm, a guy who really even-tempered, going to go out there, and usually these mound visits work. Right after, we've seen it kind of the Ohm effect where immediately after return to the dugout, the pitcher settles in and gets a couple outs.
The Ohm effect.
Yeah, I guess you could call it that. I mean, they do. They usually settle in right after the mound visit, so we'll see if Berry is the same today.
Well, Ohm gives Barry a little high five before he heads to the mound.
Good luck. Scott, and what else do you say when you're walk, like, see you later? Like, what's your exit greeting, I guess? Like, okay, bye, or like, you know what I mean? Like, what do you say as you, all right, go get him? I think I'd probably go get him, I'd say. That's probably the best one. Yeah, see you later.
Well, Barry will try to go get Bolger at the plate. His first pitch comes in up high, so 3-0 count. Now, I'm new to the broadcast, Austin, but I heard that we play a little game on 3-0 counts. What would that be?
Well, it's called red light, green light, but I don't think anyone's ever said green light. So, red light. Ah, look at that. Yep.
So now a 3-1 count to Bolger.
Yeah, I don't even know why we bother. It really should just be called red light.
Sometimes you just have to do some stuff for the bit.
Yeah. I'll just start saying green light, I guess, even though I don't mean it.
The 3-1 and just comes in down low. So a walk to Bolger, and now 2 runners on for Barry with no outs in the bottom of the 4th.
Yeah, now J.D. Urso, relatively unknown, as we mentioned, came into the game with just 3 at-bats, but hit a really hard ground ball to third in his last time up. So, Bree, if you're Jake Berry, you got to try to find that command a little bit here because you can't afford to lose another guy and load the bases. Don't want to let Orleans back into this game.
Well, we've seen some high-scoring affairs here at Eldredge Park before. Barry trying to not make that happen again. And now right behind us, we have the bird coming on through. So I don't know if that's, a bad omen, but apparently not, as strike is called for Barry.
I'd say if he could stand right here, maybe Jake Berry will only throw strikes, but I don't think I want him to stand behind us. So.
Barry checks at second and delivers, fouled behind into the netting by Urso. So 1-1, 0-2 count now.
It's a big pitch for Barry. If you can get the strikeout here, it sets you up in a good spot to try to get a double play later in the inning. He's gone to that curveball a lot to retire hitters tonight. It's frozen him. We'll see if he relies on it once more.
Well, like you said earlier, Austin, Barry, not a big strikeout guy, comes into this appearance with just 6 on the season, but already has 4 as the 0-2 pitch comes in and once again fouled back by Urso.
It's a good job by Urso to spoil that one. It's a good pitch by Barry, and now on 0-2 still you can afford to waste a pitch.
So with runners on first and second and no outs, Barry's pitch comes into Urso, and once again, 3rd straight pitch fouled behind. So Urso really battling with this 0-2 count.
And it's interesting, now we're starting to see the strikeouts. Bria, we talked about coming into the game, not a strikeout pitcher yet on Cape Cod, but I think he's finding his pitches now because, well, in Virginia this year, he was a strikeout pitcher. 56 in the 3rd innings pitch. He struck out 69 batters, and you're starting to see that. I mean, early in the year, it's been a lot of weak contact, but I think he has more confidence throwing his curveball against these hitters. His changeup's getting worked in more, and we'll see it again here on, I believe it's still 0-2. Yeah.
That it is. Urso's fouled back 3 straight on an 0-2 count. Lefty-righty matchup as the 0-2 comes in, and once again fouled back. That one going over the press box, so a little higher this time, but still an 0-2 count.
Not a bad spot to waste a pitch now. Urso's fouled off 3 in a row, so you know he's seeing it well out of Jake Berry's hand. Maybe just try to get him to chase on a high heater, get him off the breaking stuff, and then go back there.
Humphreys off of second and Bolger off of first. No outs here in the bottom of the 4th. Hawks up 5-0 as the 0-2 pitch comes in, and once again fouled off this time to the first base side. Into the crowd and almost to the school. You see some kids running to it.
He went back to the fastball, just didn't get it up in the zone enough, so was able to still get a barrel on that, was Urso.
Now Barry looks ahead, shakes off a couple signs from Pancho Ruiz. Finally finds one he likes. Gets set and checks to second. The 0-2 to Urso. Bounced in front, and Pancho Ruiz does a great job of keeping that one in front of him. So finally a count change. It's a 1-2 count now to Urso.
Again, not a bad pitch, though. We talked about changing the eye level of the hitter, and that was what Jake Barry just did by burying one in the dirt. Now 1-2, though, Bria. Still a lot of different places you can go here.
So, Austin, if you're Jake Barry, which pitch are you leaning toward right now?
I'd go back to the high fastball, try to get him chasing on something out of the zone, or at least the top of the zone, change the eye level.
See what he does with the 1-2 pitch, and hit out into right field. Diving is Sirota, but it gets past his glove, so runners coming around, and Humphrey will score. Held up at third is Bulger, and that is an RBI double for J.D. Urso. And the score now 5-1 in the bottom of the fourth.
Well, Jake Barry threw J.D. Urso every pitch he possibly could to try to get him out. And sometimes at the plate, the hitter is seeing everything out of your hand. And Barry tried to go with a fastball and bury it on the inside part of the plate to Urso, but he still fought it off, shot it to right field, and past Sirota's diving glove. A good piece of hitting. But still, I'm still confident in Jake Barry in this situation after the amount of strikes he just threw. But second and third, Bria, it seems like Orleans is teetering on entering back into this, making this a close game.
Still no outs for Barry as he faces Logan Beard, who struck out his first time up in the bottom of the second. First pitch comes into Beard, swung on. So 0-1 count now. So to recap, Barry starts off the inning with a hit by pitch to Humphrey, then walks Bulger, and then J.D. Urso brings in Humphrey with a double. This pitch comes in and fouled off into the netting behind. So 1-1 count now for Beard.
There is action in the Harbor Hawk arm barn. Looks like the right-hander from Kentucky, Austin Strickland, throwing out there. So we'll see if they're going to try to let Jake Barry finish this inning, I assume, but we'll see depending on how this at-bat goes to Logan Beard.
Pitch comes in and fouled back toward the Harbor Hawks dugout.
Sensational slider there by Barry. Came at the feet of Logan Beard. And now, let me go back to that pitch, too. Beard chased it already once in this game. See if he goes after it once more.
Barry's longest outing is 4 innings, so the Harbor Hawks hoping to get that out of him tonight. Still no outs here in the bottom of the fourth. This pitch comes in low. So 1-2 count to Beard now. Runners still on second and third for Beard.
Yeah, good speed at second, too, with Urso.
So the 1-2 comes in upstairs and inside. So count evens to 2-2.
Not a bad pitch by Barry. One that you're going to want to swing on rather than somebody to take because it's not in the zone. It's a high fastball that you can get a lot of hitters to chase.
Barry gets set, and here comes the 2-2. And grounded to Jeb at third. He throws to Pancho, and now there's a little pickle, and Pancho tags Bulger out. So heads up fielding by Mitch Jeb and Pancho Ruiz saves a run for Barry. So now 1 out in the bottom of the fourth.
Yeah, that's still the first out, huh? Quite the long inning so far. But what a heads-up play, as you said it, Bria. Mitch Jeb gets a hard grounder to third, and immediately Bulger just takes off for home, and Jeb's got him dead to right, so he starts to get in a pickle, but Urso just goes to third immediately, so Bulger just kind of had to concede himself and get out there, you trade that runner for a man on first now, so the corners are occupied with one out and a chance here for Berry to spin two and get out of danger.
And now to the plate is Nick McClary. Nick with only a K, no C in there. C fouls that one behind him over the press box.
And Nick with the K already has a K to his name today. Went down swinging. And Jake Berry, the way he's settled in after the leadoff hit by a pitch and a walk, followed by a double, he's been impressive. Even the double he gave up, Bria, he was ahead 0-2. And I mean, Urso just spoiled 6 good pitches.
Now the 0-1 comes in, popped up to right field. Mike Sirota gets under it, and the throw comes in to Ponte Ruiz, so the runner will stay at third. So 2 outs now, and Berry might just get out of this one, giving up only 1 run.
Well, what an arm by Mike Sirota. That ball wasn't probably deep enough to score many runners in the Cape League, but Urso definitely was going to give it a shot, and the throw by Sirota was on 1 hop in an absolute laser. So Urso got about a third of the way down the line and turned around and said, no, thank you. I don't want to end the inning on a double play. So the 6'10" left-hander from Virginia needs 1 more out to get out of what could have been a disastrous inning.
Connor Burns returns to the right side of the batter's box. Watches the first pitch go by him for a ball. Burns struck out looking in the bottom of the third.
Well, you got to attack Burns here. 121 average on the season, just 4 hits. If you're Jake Berry, don't want to get back to the top of the order.
The 1-0 and swung on by Burns, evens the count to 1-1. Burns just 4 for 32 on the season. That's good for a 125 average. But like you mentioned before, Austin, he does have 2 home runs, so something to take note of if you're Jake Berry. Pitch comes in and inside and in the dirt, so 2-1 count. Runners still on the corners.
When somebody's struggling at the plate, it makes it certainly easier on that hitter when they get ahead in the count. When they're up 2-1 or maybe 3-1, they can start to sit a fastball, and Burns does hit the fastball well, so you have to be careful if you're Jake Berry.
Berry taking his time, looks over to first, and deals. And popped up again over the press box. So 2-2 count now. As Berry evens it up. Just trying to get out of this inning, only giving up 1 run.
Although Burns only hit 160 at Long Beach State, he is a really balanced hitter. 41% to left field, or sorry, 29% to left and 31% to center. So pretty balanced hitter.
The 2-2. And down once again, so a full count to the 9-hole batter.
Well, you want the good news, Bria?
I would love some good news.
3-2 pitch in the zone, he swings 68% of the time. So if you throw one in the zone here, more times than not, he's going to swing.
The payoff pitch and runners go. Fouled off on the third base line.
Try that again. That was out of the zone, which he only swings at 12% of the time on 32, but that number is going to go up.
So now this inning is verging on, I don't know, 40 minutes probably.
I'd say it's fair. We're now at 7:45, and we were moving through the first 3.
Here comes the payoff pitch once again, and swung on and missed to end the inning. So Jake Berry gives up 1 run off of an RBI double by J.D. Urso, but strands 2 in the bottom of the 4th. Harbor Hawks still up 5-1. We'll be right back with you in the top of the 5th.
Hey, Mama, what's up?
Did you switch my service from Verizon to T-Mobile?
Yep. T-Mobile has the only nationwide 5G.
Well, Mr. Know-It-All, let's see if you right about that.
Mama. Hey, Mama, I'm working.
It works at the pie shop.
T-Mobile's 5G works inside and out. Hey, what you need, Mama? I'm trying to watch the game with my boys.
It works in the park.
Oh, okay. Mama?
It works at the aquarium, in the parking garage, at the beach, in the elevators. It works in the movie theater, too. Oh, shush yourself. I'm talking to my baby.
You're driving me crazy.
I was just calling you to say thank you, baby. I love you.
I love you too, Mama. Yes, Mama.
It works in the kitchen. Tell Mama.
Mama?
5G, it works in the club.
Who are you on a club with?
All about it. Tell Mama.
Back in the top of the fifth, Cole Reynolds comes back to the mound for the Firebirds. It's 5-1 here.
He was pretty good in the last inning. I mean, coming in a tough situation, 2/3 of an inning, no hits, runs, walks, and he struck out a guy. That power fastball combined with a changeup that dives off the plate will certainly make it a tough day to be a Harbor Hawk hitter.
Reynolds took over for Donye Evans last inning. Evans finished going 3 1/3, giving up 4 hits and 5 runs, 4 of those earned, and striking out 4. Now Reynolds will face Mitch Jebb for the first time tonight. So the order starts over for the Harbor Hawks in the top of the fifth. Reynolds deals and popped up behind us onto the highway. Nice little souvenir for someone.
Yeah, souvenir for a white Volkswagen Passat. It's windshield on that one. Who's getting that ball?
The 0-1 and bunted on the third base side. Reynolds will field it, and his throw is not in time, so Mitch Jebb leads off with a bunt single in the top of the fifth.
Well, heck of an effort by Reynolds to get there, but the best play there is not for Reynolds to get that ball. It's for Urso, the third baseman, because he's coming in charging it, can make a barehanded play where Reynolds, a left-handed pitcher, has to now turn and fire. As he's going away from first base, he has to kind of do a complete 180 and throw, which allowed Mitch Jebb to beat it out on a perfectly placed bunt single.
And now returning to the plate is Mike Sirota. He's the one that got all of the batting going for the Harbor Hawks last inning. Started off the inning with a single. So you watched the first one go down in the dirt for ball 1.
Good block there by Burns behind the plate. Seen a couple of Burnses in the league, Connor and Peter. Peter for the Wareham Gateman, just as good of a defender as Connor, who we see here tonight. Don't know if they're related. Don't think so.
Reynolds checks Jebb at first. Definitely needs to keep an eye on him. He's second in the league in stolen bases, right behind teammate Nishida. As another throw goes back to first.
And Sirota's last at bat, he had a big single, line drive, base hit, and he's made quite the impression in his first week as a Harbor Hawk. That averaged at .467, make him 7 for 15 on the year.
So the 1-0 comes in and lined to left field by Sirota. That's good for another single tonight. So now runners on first and second. That's Sirota and Jebb. And who else do you want up at the plate than Cole McConnell?
Yeah, Cole McConnell's been just as good as Mike Sirota in the last couple of days, but Mike Sirota just clicked at another multi-hit game, second in a row. That batting average now at .500. Brewster released this guy, who is now 8 for 16 as a Harbor Hawk. And now Cole McConnell, who did damage in his last at-bat, Maria, is certainly going to be hunting an early fastball here.
Well, Brewster is looking just a little bit silly right now, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I mean, Mike Sirota, even when he was with Brewster, his on-base percentage was .450. Now with the Hawks, he's an everyday player.
First pitch comes in high to McConnell, so 1-0 count.
And he was great at Northeastern this year. He just didn't get rolling as much as he'd like. I mean, he hit 320, but he had a ligament sprain, I believe he said. It was an injury that prevented him from playing a full season, but he's completely healthy now. And he is the perfect two-hole hitter because he has that combination of speed, contact, and power, and he just hits the ball hard every single time. And 2 singles and a run tonight shows you, I think he's firmly asserted himself very quickly as an everyday player for the Hawks.
When you mentioned that speed, he had a stolen base last night, very much overshadowed by the home run and the 3-for-3 performance.
He scored 15 runs. We don't end up talking about the team 5 stolen bases.
And McConnell fouls that one off on the third base side, so 1-1 count now. But Sirota now adds a lot more speed to this lineup that already has Jeb and Nishida. Reynolds checks second, deals for a strike, 1-2 count.
Tough count to be in if you're Cole McConnell, especially when you're a left-handed hitter facing left-handed pitching. And Reynolds has a really good slider. He likes to throw to lefties. With 2 strikes, he'll either go high fastball outside or low slider. Here's the high fastball.
The 1-2.
Yeah, that's exactly where he went.
Outside. So 2-2 count now. Still runners on first and second. That's Sirota and Jeb. Jeb reached on a perfectly placed bunt on the third base side.
If I was a betting man, which I am not, I would bet he now goes to a slider down and away.
We'll see what Reynolds does as the pitch comes in and grounded to right field. That will score a run, and Sirota will go to third. So the Hawks extend their lead to 6-1 thanks to Cole McConnell.
Well, Cole McConnell already drove in 2 runs earlier tonight, and that was not enough for him as he drives in another. And yeah, Cole Reynolds did come in with a slider down in the zone, but he left it too much over the plate, and McConnell didn't try to do too much with it, just turned on it, put it between first and second for a ground ball base hit, and good speed on the base pass now puts Sirota over at third with McConnell at first, and the Harbor Hawks look like they have another rally in them to try to expand on this now 5-run lead once again.
Now at the plate is Brendan Cumming, who's making his first start for the Harbor Hawks tonight. He watches the ball go past him. 1-0 count.
Yeah, he's already been hit by a pitch, so I don't know if that's like a rite of passage or something once you're a Harbor Hawk. I mean, all these guys seem to get hit pretty often.
Well, now with Justin Janis out, you need another guy to fill that role.
That is true.
This pitch comes in and runners go. Grounded to Reynolds. Makes the throw to first base in time, but not before Mike Sirota trots in for a run. So now Hawks up 7-1 in the top of the 5th.
Yeah, so on that play, Reynolds has the ball. It's a screamer right back at him, but what he didn't realize was that the runner was off on the pitch, McConnell from first to second. So he looked at second initially, and McConnell was going to already be safe, so he had to go to first. So he was going to trade the run at third as Sirota comes in to score. He was going to try to get the double play, Bria, but the runner in motion prevented that, so they only get the 1 out.
First pitch comes into Pancho Ruiz. Ruiz 0 for 1 today, grounded out to second in the top of the second, and then walked in his last at bat. Reynolds' pitch comes in and popped up into the stands. You know who we haven't seen in a while, Austin?
Zach Berman. It's been a couple days for me. Or Drake Toll.
Or Drake Toll.
Who else?
I was thinking the Bird.
Oh, no, I see him. First base line. I have a bird tracker on that guy because I'm not going to. A rumor has it he likes to mess with opposing broadcasts, so not today. Not going to happen here. I have locked in on him, and I'm not losing track of him. No shot.
The count is 0-2 on Ruiz. runner on second as Poncho swings and that ball is going back and out of here. Poncho Ruiz shows that light tower power with a 2-run home run, and the Harbor Hawks are now up 9-1.
Well, we've heard about it for weeks. Poncho Ruiz can hit a baseball to Jupiter when he gets every stitch of it. And that ball was crushed. He bat flipped, he watched it go way over the left center field fence, and the first one of the year has got to feel good for the San Diego State catcher. He's going to get a nice ovation from his teammates and the bullpen, and all of a sudden, Cole Reynolds, Bria, who came in, got 2 quick outs in the last inning. Things are now gone south quickly for the left-hander.
Now this game is feeling a little reminiscent of the Harbor Hawks trip to off the Cape last night.
Deja vu much?
15-1 victory over Wareham. Now
Everybody hits too. That's the key. Sorry, Bria.
No, you're so fine, Austin.
It's exciting when you score 9 runs coming off of a game where they score 15.
Reynolds gets one called for a strike, so 1-1 count now to Dom Patelli at the plate.
And unfortunately for Orleans, they have lights, so they can't concede after 7 as what happened last night in Wareham.
The 1-1 comes in outside and in the dirt, so 2-1 to Patelli now. And again, not a guy that you want on the plate now to help you recover.
Yeah, it doesn't get any easier if you're Cole Reynolds. Dom Patelli already has a hit tonight.
2-1 comes in, called for a strike. Count evens at 2-2. So Patelli at the plate, Rocco Pepe on deck, followed by Philip Matulia. Reynolds winds in, deals, and lined out to left center field, and Dom Patelli is held up at first. But yet another base runner for the Harbor Hawks, and ever since Donye Evans retired the first 10, it's really just been lights out for the Harbor Hawks hitters.
Well, since then, Bria, as you mentioned, first 10 guys go down to start the game. 3 1/3, perfect for Evans. He has some trouble. That was 5 straight hits, or 6 straight hits, that is. 6 straight base runners. Comes out of the game, Reynolds settles in. He goes into his second inning of work, and the Hawks just continue to string hits together.
The first pitch to Pepe is popped up, and that's behind, but still in the field of play.
Oh.
Now gets out of there. A bunch of kids will try to fight over it in the grass seating.
It's one of those days where if you're the Harbor Hawks, you're in that dugout, they are racing to get to the bat rack to get up to the plate. 9 runs already, and they're seeing it very well out of the hand of Cole Reynolds right now.
The pitch to Pepe comes in, and Patelli went and slides in safely to second base. So stolen base for Patelli, because why not?
And that stolen base is going to get lost in this game, right? It's a 9-1 game. He steals second. People might not recognize that. But that might be the toughest stolen base Dom Patelli's had all season. Left-handed pitcher, best defensive catcher in his conference behind the plate, and you swipe a bag with ease.
Now the 1-1 is fouled back by Pepe. Didn't like that he just got a piece of that. Kind of runs back toward the dugout, gathers himself, comes back to the right-hand side of the batter's box. So 1-2 count now. As Reynolds deals, and in there for strike 3. Pepe goes down looking for the second out of the top of the 5th.
That's a tough pitch. If you're Rocco Pepe, you're not really looking in that location, but it's a really well-executed pitch by Cole Reynolds. Inside fastball right on the inside corner at the bottom of the zone, and it's a good out number 2 for the left-hander, and Phil Matulia looking to replicate last night's performance, as he also had a home run.
Word on the street is there's a new nickname for Matulia.
What would that be?
Moonshot Matulia.
Ah. It was crushed last night.
Matulia watches a strike come in, doesn't really like the call.
And Bria, the Hawks, right, they were at one point bottom of the league in home runs. They had 6. Everyone else was in double figures. They're now at 14, and that is no longer last in the league. It's 8th. or 7th now. But they're continually climbing. They had 2 more today. They're inching in on Bourne and Chatham. Now they're at 16 total, Bourne and Chatham at 17. So the Hawks really out of the basement. And by the end of the year, you're going to probably forget that at one point, halfway through the year, they were at worst in the league in home runs, because I think this team is now unlocked its power.
And Reynolds paints another strike on the outside corner. So an 0-2 count now, 2 outs to Matulia. So 0-2 comes in and swung on to end the inning, but not before the Hawks put up a 4 spot, in large part to a home run by Pancho Ruiz, his first on the season. We'll see how the Firebirds respond in the bottom of the 5th. This is Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Traffic is treacherous. There's a fender bender on the pike. Gonna be a wicked commute. The expressway's backed up to the gas tanks. Gridlock. Crawl. Snarl. Jam up. Bottleneck. Log jam. 128 is a parking lot. You'll be late for supper tonight.
Keeping your car road ready is what we do best. At Sullivan Tire, we're always here to get you there.
Hey, we get you there too.
Having a 5G phone that's not on T-Mobile makes as much sense as playing ice hockey. Using pool noodles. Get out of the penalty box with 5G coverage like this. T-Mobile has more 5G bars in more places than anyone. T-Mobile, more 5G bars in more places. Another reason T-Mobile is the leader in 5G.
Now in the bottom of the 5th here at Eldredge Park, the Harbor Hawks up 9-1 over the Firebirds thanks to a 5-run and 2 back-to-back power-packed innings of play.
Yeah, you like runs, you've come to the right game, and that is Harbor Hawks Firebirds here on the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network, in which Hyannis now leads it by 8 runs. At one point, yes, they were up 5-1 after the 4th, but Jake Berry was in a tough spot in the bottom of the 4th inning. It was 2nd and 3rd. A run had already come in. There was nobody out, and he did a terrific job getting out of that jam. And again, this is the 2nd straight start for Berry in which he's gone 4 innings of 1-run baseball tonight. The strikeout numbers start to show what he can do with that strikeout pitch. His final line: 4 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, and 5 punchies, as they say. And he gives way to a guy who is no stranger to having success in a relief role.
Yep, and that is Austin Strickland, the righty from Winchester, Ohio. The Kentucky Wildcat takes the mound for the bottom of the 5th inning. He comes in with a 7.61 ERA.
A number that's really inflated because of 2 bad appearances. A 4-run outing against Wareham and a 3-run or two earned run kind of spot, get in the game quick. We need somebody to close it down against Brewster, and otherwise, Strick's been really good.
Strick's first pitch comes in for a strike.
And his most impressive one was the 2 2/3 he fired the other day against the Catuit Kettleers. He didn't allow any hits or runs, and he did walk 2, but I believe he struck out 4, and that kept the game tied. It was huge, and you see it again there, or you hear about it. Another breaking ball, and he has found that pitch.
Now he's facing the top of the Firebirds lineup in Nate Furman. He's 0 for 2 on the day. Strick's made some quick work of Furman so far with an 0-2 count, but that's hit to center field for a leadoff single by Nate Furman.
It's a good piece of hitting by Furman. Wait back on that off-speed pitch and just takes it back where it came from. And if you're Austin Strickland, you can afford to make a couple of those mistakes. You just can't let them snowball. You have an 8-run lead. And I think Coach Beatty and the Harbor Hawk dugout would certainly like Austin Strickland to be able to go a couple innings here. With a comfortable cushion, you would like to just lean on 1 or 2 pitchers to get you through this and not have to burn into your bullpen with plenty of baseball ahead.
Now Strickland faces Luke Keischel. First pitch comes in and gets past Ruiz.
Did he call that foul? I didn't see the umpire move his hands at all. I guess it is. Okay.
So a 1-0 count now to Keishel, who has a double on the day. Pitch comes in, called for a strike, so count evens to 1-1.
Every team has one or two guys that you look at and say, that guy is a future major leaguer. Luke Keishel is one of them for the Orleans Firebirds, and it's his power, the ability to put him in any position in the field, and he'll do so with success.
The 0-2 swung on and grounded to Jeb at third, and that will be a double play. So the Hawks turn a double play after a leadoff single by Furman. So now Strickland, he's in business, Austin.
He is. That is a huge double play, and it was started by Mitch Jebb at the hot corner, who got it out of the glove so quickly to Riku Nishida. But the highlight of all of it, Phil Matulia's stretch over at first base, a guy who's not an everyday first baseman. That was one of the best stretches I've seen this year from a first baseman, and just got it out.
Now Cam Jones comes to the plate and grounds one on the third base side for a very quick infield single.
Yeah, it's a swinging bunt, and Jebb and Strickland both ran over to give it a look, but no shot at making a play. They'll just hold on to it, and that's one you can live with if you're Austin Strickland. It was really just an infield bunt single there, and with, well, 2 outs, you got to get Isaac Humphrey here, and he's still working quickly. 7 pitches, 7 strikes.
Humphrey 0 for 1 on the day, flew out to right field his first time up and then hit by a pitch in his last at bat. The ball comes in. So 1-0 count. Runner on first for Strickland with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. Hawks still up 9-1 as the 1-0 comes in, called for a strike. And like you mentioned, Austin, Philip Matulia over there on first base, not his usual spot. So the pitch comes in and drops in there for a strike. So
Yeah.
1-2 count.
Matulia's played a little bit of right field, left field, made an appearance in center, pitched a bit. Now at first base as Justin Hyannis has left for the year for the Harbor Hawks, and it's now down to Matulia and Chanul over at first.
The 1-2 and just high, so count evens up to 2-2. And after his first pitching appearance against Bourne, I asked Matulia, I said, so do you think we'll see you out on the bump again anytime this season? He said, he laughed and said, that's up to Skip, but we'll see. Now making his spot at first the past 3 games. As Humphrey fouls that one off.
Yeah, ideally, you would normally say, oh, right, we don't want to see a position player back on the mound, because that usually signifies you're losing by a lot. But Phil Matulia throws the ball 91 miles an hour and has a wipeout slider, and it looked pretty good when he pitched last time against Bourne.
Humphrey grounds that one to Riku Nishida. Throw is in time for out number 3, so Strickland gets out of the inning, still 9-1. Harbor Hawks on top of the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
What are you looking forward to?
Adding a takeout window.
And more locations.
Paying off my student loans.
Juggling my 4 small businesses and staying sane.
Raising my allowance.
Finishing my painting and starting the next one.
Catching a keeper. Cashing anything.
Making the most of my retirement.
Checking my balance and hopefully having one.
Whatever you want for your family, your business, or your community, talk to us at Cape Cod 5, because we're looking forward to helping you. Coke Zero is now Coke Zero Sugar, with great Coke taste. Some people were excited to hear the news, some were skeptical. So we're not going to have the star of the show you're watching come out and say, "You'll love it." No special jingle written by this week's hottest pop star. No famous internet celebs who happen to be holding the label just so. Okay, maybe just one little pour shot. The only thing that will make you believe Coke Zero Sugar has great Coke taste is trying it yourself. Ice cold Coke Zero Sugar. Try one today.
The top of the sixth now at Eldredge Park. The Hawks lead it 9-1, and now they've now chased off another pitcher on the mound.
Yeah.
So Gray Harrison comes to the bump for the Firebirds. The Austin, Texas native comes in with a 0.00 ERA. It's only pitched 1 1/3 for the Firebirds so far. Has registered 1 K. Has given up no hits and no walks. That first appearance, act to it.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough spot for him. They're going to likely ask him to go a couple of innings. And Bree, it's not only been a great day for the Hawks on the field as they're up 9-1, but a great day for the Hawks off the field as congratulations to our assistant general manager, Zach Chase, who is now officially engaged. So big shout out to Zach Chase and congratulations. And Zach's favorite guy, Poncho Ruiz, has a 2-run home run tonight. So big news all around for Zach Chase, and a big congratulations out to Zach and his fiance.
Well, how can you not be romantic about baseball?
Absolutely. I mean, the day Zach gets engaged, the guy he recruited and brought in here, Poncho Ruiz, hits a home run. What a great day to be a Hawk.
That it is. As Riku Nishida heads to the plate, he's had a lot of great days himself lately. He has a .285 batting average. He's 0 for 2 on the day as he watches the first pitch go past him.
And he's done what Riku does best, and that's make contact at the dish. And a couple of groundouts, but both hit pretty hard, and that was a... Oh.
And he swings on that pitch, so 1-1 count now, and he swung so hard he kind of had to take a couple steps out of the batter's box.
I was going to say, if I had to guess, he's going to be making contact again, but now he's down 0-2, and here's where he likes to protect the plate.
The 1-1, and chopped to the shortstop, McClary. The throw is in time, a big stretch there by Jones.
Heck of a stretch by Cam Jones over there, and you could hear the Firebirds dugout. As soon as that ball is hit, they're yelling, get rid of it, because they know how fast Riku Nishida is down the first base line out of the box, and it's a great defensive play to get the fastest man in the Cape Cod Baseball League out.
Well, speaking of speed, now Mitch Jebb heads to the plate. Now the first pitch is chopped to Jones at first base. He'll run and touch the base for the second out.
How about Gray Harrison out of the bullpen?
How about
him? A couple easy outs for him on weak contact, and it's exactly, if you're Kelly Nicholson over in that first base dugout, which is interesting, I just kind of picked up on. Orleans, Wareham, they both had their home dugout, the home team, on the first base side. I'm trying to think of what other teams, but you don't see that as much. A lot of teams have the visitors dugout over on the first base side.
Harrison's first pitch called for a strike against Mike Sirota. And like you said, has made some quick work of this inning so far, but can't celebrate just yet because Sirota is definitely one of the hottest hitters this game has. Watch this one down in the dirt, 1-1 count. Sirota 2 for 3 on the day, 2 singles. So watches another one down low and outside, 3-1 count.
Yeah, Sirota's seeing the ball well too, even with the new pitcher. Still same approach, attacking fastballs.
Harrison deals and called for a strike. Sirota held up on that one. And Sirota fouls that one back, so 2-2 count with 2 outs. Harrison trying to go 1-2-3 in this inning. Something that the Firebirds have not done in quite a while, Austin.
Yeah, the Harbor Hawks have been some tough customers at the plate all game long, especially the last 2 innings.
Now Sirota works it to a full count. Harrison with the payoff pitch and skied out to center field, and diving in to make the play is Humphrey. One of the best defensive plays in outfield that you might see, crosses over Keishel in center. Barely gets the catch, but that will end the innings. So the Hawks go 1-2-3. They're still up 9-1. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th. This is Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
My family earns respect.
My family clears bases.
My family breaks records.
My family wins MVPs.
My family gives everything.
My family makes history.
My family wins championships.
There's no family.
There's no family. There's no family.
There's no family like my family. Join the fam.
Join the fam.
Join the fam.
Back here on Harbor Hawks Baseball Network, as we come to the bottom of the 6th. It's been a high-scoring affair on the Harbor Hawks side.
Huh? Already.
Yeah.
Time flies when you're scoring 9 runs.
Well, now that's a combined 24 runs in the past 2 nights for the Harbor Hawks. A little quick math there for this journalism major.
We got to keep you in the booth because that's much quicker math than Drake, Zach, or I can do. 24 runs, and we're not even done with today. I'll tell you something about the bats team-wide. They are all swinging a hot bat at this point.
Strickland back on the mound, and his first pitch comes in for a strike. He's facing Bulger, and he's had a little bit of success today. He's 1 for 1 with a single and a walk as he swings on that one, gets behind quickly 0-2 against Strickland.
Yeah, Bulger quickly became the everyday catcher at Vanderbilt this year, known for not wearing any batting gloves, and he's really impressed there. Expect him to take a major leap when he heads back there this year.
The 0-2 right down the middle, and Bulger goes down looking. So a punchy forced Strick to start out the top or the bottom of the 6th.
It's a great pitch by Austin Strickland. He got the fastball working last time and the curveball, and there you see a slider. And now you're going to see it gets a little bit darker out. Tough to see the catcher's sign, so Pancho Ruiz just went and rubbed some chalk on his fingers to help Austin Strickland be able to pick up the signs better. A lot of catchers in night games at the big league level either paint their fingernails or it will tape them with neon colors. So Pancho having to pick up some of the white lime chalk to help Strickland see the signs.
Now Strickland faces his second batter in Urso. Quickly works his way to an 0-1 count. 1-1, excuse me. The 1-1 comes in. And just low, the Harbor Hawks dugout does not like that call by the home plate umpire Bland, but nevertheless, it's a 2-1 count for Urso. And here comes the pitch, and chopped foul on the third base line. So count evens to 2-2. Urso has reached base twice. First time on an E5, and then had an RBI double in the 4th.
That was a big double, too.
The 2-2. And grounded to the first baseman, Matulia, who will touch the base for out number 2. So 2 quick outs for Austin Strickland after having a little bit of trouble in his first inning out.
Yeah, and Strickland, when he's at his best, like he is tonight, does a really good job with his off-speed. He's locating it down in the zone. Keep it down, keep it low at the knees, even below the knees, and he's getting the hitters to stay on top of it. You're seeing a lot of ground balls. The couple singles he had a line drive single, a ground ball single, another ground ball, a strikeout, and then another ground ball. So Austin Strickland really pitching to the strengths of this Harbor Hawk team, which is infield defense.
Now he faces Logan Beard at the plate, tries to drop one in there, but misses a spot for a ball. Makes quick work, now the count even at 1-1. The 1-1. And in there for a strike. So Strick getting ahead on Beard 1 and 2. Beard kind of talking to the home plate umpire Bland a little bit before stepping back into the box.
Got to expect that the zone could open up a bit in this kind of game.
The 1-2 swung on, and Beard goes down. Strick makes a little hop over the third base line as he just retired the side. So we will head to the top of the 7th. Stay right with us. It's 9-1, Harbor Hawks on top.
When it comes to buying or selling a home, you need a partner, not just an agent. For over 50 years, Gibson Sotheby's International Realty has set the standard in excellence and performance. A seasoned team that has thrived throughout all markets. Our agents live and work in your neighborhood and understand you. We are over 170 agents strong, backed by an in-house marketing team and global reach that is second to none.
From studios to penthouses, purchasing to renting, our team provides unparalleled real estate services.
This is your time to change your career, to advance your skills, to follow your dream. Curry College continuing in graduate studies. Tomorrow is coming. Be ready.
I'm defeated, feel mistreated. I'm so angry, I'm singing a song. 'Cause I'm paying so much for home internet, and that's just wrong.
I've got T-Mobile home internet. I feel happy.
Great.
Very happy.
Good for you.
Look how much money I'm saving right now.
Wait, really?
There's no hidden fees, no price hikes, one core.
Bro, wow.
Internet without BS.
Top of the 7th now as Harrison returns to the mound for the Firebirds. He's facing Cole McConnell to start off. 1-0 count to McConnell. So it will be Cole followed by Brendan Cumming and then Pancho Ruiz. As McConnell swings on the 1-0.
Got to tip your cap a bit to Gray Harrison, who's come into the game out of the bullpen, already retired the first 3 he's faced, which has been the kind of the key for Orleans tonight. They've been able to attack early, but you ask them to go more than a couple of batters and things start to get tough.
And the ball goes past Burns, so count at 2-1. And so many runs have happened in this game that I think we're forgetting about that home run to right field by McConnell.
Well, exactly. That was early on in the game, a 2-run shot down the line, and at that point it opened it up a bit for the Hawks, but so many more runs have come across since then.
The 2-1 comes in outside, so 3-1 count to McConnell now. McConnell comes in with a .285 average. And swings and fouls one off into the highway.
Oh.
Right over our director of ops, Mazdak Darvari. See if he hops the fence and tries to go get that one.
And Mazdak's a big souvenir baseball guy, I heard. Likes to collect all the foul balls. You ever see Zach Hampel, the guy who runs around major league stadiums? He has trash barrels full. Mazdak said his goal is to fill up at least 3 trash barrels this summer with foul balls in the Cape League.
McConnell lines one to the shortstop, who fields and fires in time. So McConnell gets the first out of the inning and turns it over to Brendan Cumming, who's taking over center field for McConnell tonight.
Pretty efficient debut, too, for Cumming. He's 0 for 2, but he does have an RBI and a run scored, so.
Cumming watches the first pitch go by him for a strike.
He's got the number 13 that was worn by Justin Hyannis earlier in the year.
The 0-1 comes in and brings Cummings to his knees swinging, so 0-2 count now with 1 out.
The Princeton Tiger, Brendan Cumming, second team All-Ivy. Very impressive year.
The 0-2 fouled off on the third base side.
Yeah, if you're Brendan Cumming, it's about getting good at-bats together, stringing together a kind of plethora of good swings, which he started to do.
The 0-2 grounded to the third baseman Urso, who fields fires in time. So 2 ground outs to start the inning, and that makes way for Pancho Ruiz to come back up to the plate. And of course, the last time he was there, he got his first home run of the season.
That's a big one, too. It certainly was no cheapie. It was hit high and way far to left center field. About 350 to the fence there. I'd say that ball is probably closer to 380.
The first pitch to Pancho called for a strike.
Yeah, Gray Harrison's come right in and been the guy Orleans has needed. Locked it down for them. 1 2/3 of perfect baseball. See if Pancho can break that trend.
The 0-1 pitch down low. Count evens to 1-1. Still 2 outs. No one on in the top of the 7th. Harbor Hawks with a very healthy lead, up 9-1. Harrison gets set and delivers, fouled off over the press box and onto the highway again.
What makes Gray Harrison so good is he's really a 3-pitch pitcher, but has such a good difference in speed between his fastball at 91 and his changeup down at 83 to his curveball at 74, but he's really a guy who's kind of unproven. Just 127 pitches thrown at McLennan this season.
And Pancho with a hit to center field, so he gets on, and Pancho having a day, so a 2-out single for Ruiz. Now Dom Patelli back up to the plate.
Yeah, that's a big hit for Pancho. It's a multi-hit game for him, and third time he's reached base safely, which he struggled coming into the game on the year. His average not exactly where he hopes it is at, but this could be one of those kind of coming out parties for him, get right games where he's really shown a lot of different things that he can do offensively tonight, which could lead to future success.
First pitch into Patelli, up high and outside for ball 1, and Pancho Ruiz definitely has to play a more prominent role on both sides now with the absence of Jacob Campbell. We'll hopefully get his name called tomorrow.
I think he definitely will, and MLB draft just right around the corner. A few former Hawks are going to be hearing their names called, so be sure to check out the terrific article written by Gabby Vitale on the Harbor Hawk website, which outlines some Hawks to look out for. It's harborhawks.org. Take a look at that draft article to stay up to date on all the Hawks that will be selected tomorrow in the MLB draft.
So the 2-0 fouled behind us by Patelli. 2 outs. Pancho Ruiz is on first base. And a 2-1 count to Patelli. Harrison looks over to first. Not much of a stealing threat over there. And delivers the pitch right over the plate. Evens the count 2-2.
Dom Patelli is a really patient hitter at the plate, too, and that's something that's developed over the last couple of weeks. He started off slow, but really picked it up as of late. 22 hits on the year, make it 23, and it's been because he hits so well with 2 strikes.
And swung on and missed by Patelli to end the inning. So Harrison strands 1, and the Hawks still up 9-1. We head to the bottom of the 7th.
What are you looking forward to?
Adding a takeout window.
And more locations.
Paying off my student loans.
Juggling my 4 small businesses and staying sane.
Raising my allowance.
Finishing my painting and starting the next one.
Catching a keeper. Cashing anything.
Making the most of my retirement.
Checking my balance and hopefully having one.
Whatever you want for your family, your business, or your community, talk to us at Cape Cod 5 because we're looking forward to helping you.
This is your time to change your career, to advance your skills, to follow your dream. Curry College continuing and graduate studies. Tomorrow is coming. Be ready.
Coke Zero is now Coke Zero Sugar, with great Coke taste. Some people were excited to hear the news, some were skeptical. So we're not gonna have the star of the show you're watching come out and say, "You'll love it." No special jingle written by this week's hottest pop star. No famous internet celebs who happen to be holding the label just so. Okay, maybe just one little pour shot. The only thing that will make you believe Coke Zero Sugar has great Coke taste is trying it yourself. Ice cold Coke Zero Sugar. Try one today.
Well, we just stretched here at Eldredge Park, and now it's the bottom of the 7th inning as Jackson Hyannis takes the mound, taking over for Austin Strickland. Strickland finishes with 2 full innings pitched, giving up only 2 hits, no runs, no walks, and striking out 2 over 5 batters faced. And now Hyannis taking over one of the Harbor Hawks' most reliable relievers, Austin.
Yeah, Jackson Hyannis is somebody who's dreamed of playing in the Cape Cod Baseball League for a long time. And when he was growing up, he spent summer weeks on the Cape with his parents, and they'd attend baseball clinics of the Brewster Whitecaps. And 15 years later, Jackson is on the Cape and pitching in the league, and he's done so with, honestly, without much difficulty. He's been so good every time the Hawks have turned to him this season. And Bria, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think he's allowed an earned run yet.
He hasn't. In 8 appearances, his ERA still has 3 zeros in it.
Incredible. 11 innings of perfect baseball, essentially, from Jackson Hyannis. He has a couple hits, a couple walks mixed in, but no earned runs in 11 innings of relief work it should be celebrated as an incredible accomplishment for somebody who's dreamed of playing in this league and has certainly a bright future ahead of him.
Not only is the MLB draft coming up tomorrow, but selections for the Cape League All-Star game will be made. So Hyannis may be one of those selected.
A lot of guys will be getting the call tomorrow at the MLB draft thanks to T-Mobile, who is proud to sponsor the Cape Cod Baseball League. T-Mobile is committed to serve those who serve, and that's why they go above and beyond for our active duty military, veterans, and first responders. Visit your neighborhood T-Mobile store or T-Mobile.com to learn more.
Thank you, Austin, and thank you, T-Mobile. I definitely wish I had T-Mobile. My cell reception is not great at most ballparks, so might be making the switch.
There you go. That's in their commercial, right? Make the switch. Wild pitch has hit the umpire. It's going to take a moment to get attended to. And Bria, today's game is amazingly only been 2 hours, as we're now in the bottom of the 7th inning. There was a point where the Harbor Hawks had sent 9 guys to the plate, followed it up the next inning with 8 runs to the plate, as the umpire is going to get some attention here. And why don't we toss it to a break as he gets looked at on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Tastes like a Coke.
We nailed it! Coke Zero Sugar. Have they nailed it?
Sounds like they really nailed it, huh?
Nailed it.
And that's when you said... So it really tastes like a Coke.
Yeah, that's the point.
When it comes to buying or selling a home, you need a partner, not just an agent. For over 50 years, Gibson Sotheby's International Realty has set the standard in excellence and performance. A seasoned team that has thrived throughout all markets. Our agents live and work in your neighborhood and understand you. We are over 170 agents strong, backed by an in-house marketing team and global reach that is second to none.
From studios to penthouses, purchasing to renting, our team provides unparalleled real estate services.
If you live here, fun is your thing. If you live here, tough is your thing. Smart is your thing. Caring is your thing. If you live in...
Here in the bottom of the 7th, took a quick break there as the home plate umpire Bland got attended to, but he's back And so is Jackson Emis with his second pitch of his outing.
Yeah, good to see him okay. It's scary. He just got hit right on the side of that mask, but certainly good to see him still back there behind the dish, and all is okay. So now Jackson Emis gets to settle in here and try to battle McClary.
The 2-0 to McClary fouled off into the Harbor Hawks dugout. And I mean, what a day for the Harbor Hawks bats. 9 runs, 10 hits. I mean, you really can't ask for much more.
No, you can't. And what's impressive is that 4 Hawks have multi-hit days today, too.
The 2-0 comes in, called for a strike, so 2-1 against McClary. Last time McClary was up, flew out to right field. Firebirds not having as much success at the plate. Still have 5 hits. Here's the 2-2. And just misses inside.
It's a good pitch.
Full count here for Emis.
Yeah, it's a good pitch by Jackson, and one that you would hope to get a swing on by McClary, but it's some discipline by him, some maturity at the plate to lay off that breaking ball. Now 3-2. A couple different places he can go. Maybe leans back on that inside fastball.
The 3-2. And down and inside, so a leadoff walk for Jackson Emis to McClary. And now the catcher, Connor Burns, comes back up to the plate. He has 2 strikeouts on the day, 1 looking, 1 swinging.
I'm hungry.
First pitch into Burns, right over the heart of the plate for strike. You know, I'm not hungry. And you know why, Austin?
Why's that?
Because prior to the game,
Yep.
I had a great fish taco thanks to one of our sponsors, The Knack.
Yeah, shout out the Knack and their delicious lunch, dinner meals. And I've been there a couple times. Love their burgers.
The avocado burger?
I'm not a big avocado guy, but I'm sure it's good there.
That it is, and Burns fouls that one back into the netting, so evens the count to 1-1.
Surprised Mazdak didn't stop over at the booth and offer some of his nachos as he walked by. It's okay, I'll remember that. Now for Jackson Emis. Leadoff walk's obviously not ideal, but you come back, you look strong right away, and now you're ahead 0-2. Try to finish off. Connor Burns has already struck out twice tonight.
The 0-2 from Emis. Up high, and Pancho Ruiz gets that one. Keeps the runner at first. So 1-2 count for Burns. McClary led off the inning with a walk. He's still at first. So no outs. Bottom of the 7th. And Burns hits one out to left field. And now 2 Firebirds on to start the 7th inning.
Breaking ball there by Jackson that just caught too much of the dish, and a good job by Burns to wait back on it and pull it down the left field line for a base hit. And now Orleans showing some late life with 2 on, nobody out.
And now they return to the top of their lineup with Nate Furman. He singled last time he was up. So 2 on, no outs here. Still 9-1 with the Harbor Hawks on top. Emis gets set and delivers. Furman swings and fouls it back. And you know, even with an 8-run lead by the Harbor Hawks, there's still a very big crowd here at Eldredge Park.
Yeah, the fans here in Orleans are really diehard fans. They love to stay for all 9 innings if they can, and they're certainly big supporters of the Firebirds.
Pitch comes in and fouled backwards towards us on the third base side. And once again, foul onto the highway. I think this is the only ballpark, Austin, that has a highway right behind home plate.
Yeah, that sounds right. I mean, Brewster, you have an elementary school and a playground, and Harwich, you have trees. Bourne, you have a school, but nothing else. Obviously, Hyannis, you have a school and a parking lot. Yeah, I'd say the only one with a highway behind it is Orleans.
Emis's pitch comes in and gets Furman swinging.
That is a big bounce back pitch by Jackson Emis. He goes on the outside part of the plate, gets Orleans' probably their third best hitter in their team, Nate Furman, to reach and go after one and come up empty. Nice pitch by Emis. So that's a big out, number one. Now you have to face a tough out in the form of Luke Keischel. But, Bria, good news for Jackson Emis is Keishel's already grounded into a double play today, and one of those would end the inning.
That it would, after McCleary walked to start the inning and Burns singled. Now Keischel at the plate. Watch the first one go in the dirt, and Pancho Ruiz will go talk to his reliever, try to settle him down.
Yeah, it's a quick conversation between Pancho and Jackson, and probably just try to get him on track with that breaking ball. He's thrown it a few times, but hasn't quite had the location he's hoped for. He's had the spin on it, the break's been there, just the location a bit off, so we'll see how those two adjust and try to attack a really dangerous bat in the form of Luke Keischel.
2 on, 1 out for Emis in the bottom of the 7th. The 1-0 comes in, called for a strike. Count evens to 1-1.
Yeah, Luke Keischel already has a double tonight on a hanging breaking ball, so it's got to be careful here not to hang another one of those to him.
The 1-1 pitch and grounded foul on the third base side. So Emis gets ahead 1-2 against Keischel.
That was a good breaking ball, though. Keischel was way out in front of it on that front foot. See where Jackson goes back to here with the count still at 1-2.
Emis gets set. Checks back at second and delivers down and away and gives his glove a little punch. Didn't really like where that one went.
Jackson's been very sharp all season long with his command, and it's been the fastball and the breaking ball off of that pitch, but tonight hasn't been as sharp. And I mean, you have 11 scoreless innings under your belt. Not every outing is going to be perfect like he's been so far, but at least tonight, when he's missing, he's not missing over the plate. And obviously, knock on wood, that doesn't happen here.
The 2-2 pitch and popped up in the infield. Dom Batelli camping under it and will make the out. Yeah. So 2 outs now for Emis with runners on first and second.
That's a good pitch. It was looked like the slider in on the hands that jammed Luke Keischel, and a big time out to get the best hitter in the Orleans lineup to pop up to the infield, where you keep both runners where they are at first and second. Now with 2 outs, you can take a deep breath and kind of relax a bit and go after Cam Jones.
Here comes the first pitch to Jones, called for a strike.
Great pitch by Jackson Emis to get back in the zone, and he certainly seemed to settle in a bit. It's been the breaking ball he likes to throw early, too. He likes to steal a strike on 0-0 and fire one in as he did there. Now we'll see where he goes back to on 0-1.
The 0-1 pitch and drops right in there again for a strike, so Emis gets ahead quickly on Jones for 0-2.
Yeah, he makes it so difficult on hitters. He drops that pitch about 15 miles per hour lower than his fastball. So if you try to sit on a breaking ball, he might throw the fastball right by you, and next thing you know, you're back to the dugout. But if you're waiting on a out front on a breaking ball, other way around too. You're on a fastball, you're way out in front on a breaking ball.
Comes the pitch and upstairs, now count at 1-2. So 2 outs, 2 on, and a 9-1 lead for Jackson Hyannis to work with here in the bottom of the 7th. Looking to retire Jones, who's 1 for 3 on the day. Hyannis gets set and deals, and swung on by Jones, but looks like it was just barely got a piece of that one, so Jones stays alive.
Nearly had a strikeout to end the inning. Nice job, though, by Jones to fight it off, and if you're Jackson Hyannis, you are ahead 1-2 here, and have a lot of different places you can go, but just got to be careful with that breaking ball not to hang one over the plate.
Here comes the 1-2, and grounded to Patelli at short. He will fire to first in time to Matulia, and that will retire Jones for the 3rd out. So Jones lets on 2 runners, but strands them and gives up no runs. Score remains 9-1. We head to the top of the 8th. This is Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Traffic is treacherous. There's a fender bender on the pike. Gonna be a wicked commute. The expressway's backed up to the gas tanks. Gridlock. Crawl. Snarl. Jam up. Bottleneck. Log jam. 128 is a parking lot. You'll be late for supper tonight.
Keeping your car road ready is what we do best. At Sullivan Tire, we're always here to get you there.
Hey, we get you there too.
Choosing T-Mobile is like paying for this, but getting that. And so much more. More 5G bars in more places. More savings so your family saves 20% versus the other guys. And we won't raise the price of your rate plan with our Price Lock Guarantee. Get more with T-Mobile. More 5G coverage, more savings, and even more cool stuff.
Top of the 8th now at Eldredge Park. Hawks lead it 9-1 in large part to the long ball. Cole McConnell had one of those in the 4th, followed by Pancho Ruiz, who had his first moonshot of the season. Definitely a long time coming. Is now Rocco Pepe, who has 3 of those for the Harbor Hawks, heads to the plate. Looks like he will be facing a new pitcher for the Firebirds.
Yeah, they go back to a left-hander after Gray Harrison came in and worked a couple of really good innings for Orleans, and after 2 innings of shutout baseball for Harrison, he gives way to Shane Telfer, the left-hander from Pepperdine. He's a senior there from, I can't say that city name, but he's been good for Orleans so far this year. 8 2/3, 6 strikeouts, 11 hits allowed. So the hits a little bit high, but strikeouts not too bad. His ERA is an 8.30. But as you take out that game against Brewster, he had a 5 runs allowed against Brewster on his first appearance in the Cape Cod Baseball League. Since then, he's settled in really nicely. Through 6 other innings, allowed just 2 runs. Some quick math for you.
We're really killing the math game here.
Yeah.
Just 2 journalism majors.
Yeah.
You never know what you're going to get there, but.
Last math class I took was personal finance my freshman year.
I took intro to statistics, and I will not be taking another math class.
Either will I.
First pitch comes into Pepe right by his eyeballs, so 1-0 count.
And Rocco quietly raises the average up to 200 after a little bit of a slump middle of the year, but he also has 11 runs batted in, so when you put guys on base, well, after tonight he makes that 13. When you put guys on base for Rocco, he really comes through for the Hawks.
Yeah, those 11 RBIs coming into the game, that tied for second on the team as Rocco swings on the 2-0. But like you said, after going into a little bit of a slump mid-season, he has had a .313 batting average in the last 7 days. As he watches one go to his feet. So 3-1 count for Rocco Pepe to start off the inning. Here comes the 3-1, and popped up in the infield. Underneath it is Beard for the first out. So Matulia comes to the plate.
Just got under that pitch a bit.
Still looking for his first hit of the day. Struck out twice and grounded out.
Played a really good game defensively over at first base, however. A couple of big-time stretches to help the Hawks turn a double play and pick a ball over at the difficult first base position. He has good hands, too.
As he swings on the first pitch, so 0-1 count to Matulia. Telfer gets set and delivers, and a light hit up the middle by Matulia, and just like that, he records his first hit of the ball game.
There you go. First hit for Phil. It was not a laser, but a well-hit line drive back up the middle, so that puts a man on for Riku, and good to see Phil join the hit parade. Hawks now boost their hit total up to 11 on the night. That certainly will play.
Nishida now up at the plate. He's the only Harbor Hawk not to reach base so far in this game. He has an opportunity here with Matulia off of first. As the first pitch comes in over the plate for a strike. As Telfer gets set. Makes a few looks over to first and then delivers, popped up foul onto the highway by Nishida. So now an 0-2 count for Riku, and this is where you'll see the antics start to begin. He'll do a couple swings, a squat down, and then a leg kick. And just as I say that, he ditches all of those antics. And the pitch comes in, swung on and missed for Riku. He'll head back to the dugout. So Telfer records his first strikeout of the game and turns the lineup over for Mitch Jebb.
That's a good pitch there by Telfer. Looks like he went to the outside fastball. Something Riku had some trouble catching up to. Maybe it looked like he was sitting on an off-speed pitch there, but well-executed pitch, and now he's kind of settled in a bit. 2 down, 1 on, and Mitch Jebb top of the order.
As Jebb swings and misses, making the count 0-1.
It's amazing that Mitch Jebb didn't start the year on this team. You look at the numbers, up to 94 at-bats now. Batting came into the game hitting 300, 10 runs batted in. He was like Tuit Kettleer to start the year. They released him because they couldn't guarantee him everyday playing time. And now Tuit, the 2 guys that were playing over him, Cam Collier, Ryan Ritter, both projected to be drafted this year. And unfortunately for Tuit, they missed out on a guy who is going to probably be an all-star selection, while the other 2, they played over him. Hear their names called in the MLB draft.
The 1-1 to Jebb, and that's fouled off the third base side. And mentioned earlier how Mike Sirota was released by Brewster, now having a lot of success here. And Mitch Jebb, one of the biggest impact players for the Harbor Hawks.
He's certainly been an impact player on the base pass in addition to at the plate. Just right behind Riku Nishida for the lead in the Cape League in stolen bases. Not a bad guy to be trailing.
2 outs, Matulia on first. A 1-2 count comes in, and it's fouled on the third base side. So we will do it all over again with Mitch Jebb at the plate as Matulia makes his way across the diamond once again to first. But call it the Mitch Jebb effect. Not only Mitch Jebb, you know, the impact he's made with his stats on the base paths, hits, RBIs, but just in general, this Harbor Hawks mentality on the base paths has definitely changed since he made his debut. Telfer gets set and delivers, swung on by Jeb to end the inning. So Telfer strands a base runner in Matulia. We head to the bottom of the 8th, still 9-1. Harbor Hawks on top. This is Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
My family earns respect.
My family clears bases.
My family breaks records.
My family wins MVPs.
My family gives everything.
My family makes history.
My family wins championships.
There's no family.
There's no family. There's no family.
There's no family like my family. Join the fam.
Join the fam.
Join the fam.
Back at Eldredge Park, it's 9-1 Harbor Hawks on top as Jackson Emis returns for his second inning of work. He started off the 7th inning with 2 base runners and happened to escape unscathed as now he will face Humphrey coming to the plate. 261 average on the year and is 0 for 2 on the year.
Yeah, Jackson Emis settled in nicely at the end of the last inning, as you mentioned. Bria tired 3 in a row to slam the door on a couple base runners. We'll see if that can carry over here as he continues his scoreless streak.
First pitch comes in and catches Humphrey swinging. So 0-1 count to start the bottom of the 8th. And even though we've seen 10 runs come through between both teams, the game has moved by pretty quickly.
Yeah, so far, what, 2.5 hours in? Might be able to get this thing done in 3, knock on wood. Of course, I love being at the ballpark. Wouldn't mind the Harbor Hawks putting up more runs, but there's a little bit of a late night. Back at home tomorrow at McKeon Park, though. Bourne Braves are welcomed in.
The 0-2 comes in from Emis, gets away from him, and it's a 1-2 count now. Emis, one of those pitchers that really shows his emotions on his face. He'll let you know when he's missed his spot. He'll grimace or shake his head or give his glove a little punch, but always gets back in it here with the 1-2 and gets Humphrey looking. He knew it too as he just immediately starts walking back to the dugout.
Froze him with the best breaking ball he's thrown in this game. What a terrific pitch from Jackson Emis.
Jack Bolger up to the mound, or up to the batter's box now. He struck out last time he was up. He's reached twice today with a single and a walk. Here comes the first pitch from Emis. Just misses the inside corner. So count at 1-0 now with 1 out, none on, and the bottom of the 8th. So the 1-0 comes down into the dirt, making it 2-0. And it's been a pretty quiet night, not necessarily for the Harbor Hawks bats, but this crowd is pretty tame today.
We're just enjoying some baseball, and it seems the Birdman's left the building. Oh, no, he's here. I see him now. Sorry. False alarm, folks.
Austin always with the Cardinal tracker.
Yeah. He is under a tree. Well, I mean, birds, I guess, do tend to hang out near trees.
Unless you're a Harbor Hawk, then you're on the lights at McKeon Park.
Yeah, right. All the way up in the nest.
Comes the pitch from Hyannis in there for a strike.
And Bulger at the dish, a slight pull hitter, 48% to left, 33% to center, or sorry, 22% to center, 33% opposite.
Swung on and fouled back by Bulger.
%53% of the time he hits a ground ball on balls in play, 23% a fly ball, 16% a line drive. So a lot of ground balls and line drives from Bulger, and he impressed at Vanderbilt, has carried that over here to the Firebirds this summer.
The full count. And Bulger holds up and will take his base. They're saying that it hit his hand. The dugout does not like that, and manager Eric Beatty will head out onto the field to have a word with the umpires.
Yeah, the umpire's going to have a word with the other umpire at first base before Beatty can even ask about it. I mean, I don't know if the home plate umpire saw it. It's a tough thing to recognize, right? A breaking ball coming across, and they will just confirm. They'll say it hit Bulger's hand, will be the call on the field. Coach Beatty thinks it hit the bat, as did Poncho Ruiz. I'll have a quick conversation with the home plate umpire.
Bulger was definitely making his case to the home plate umpire Bland.
Yeah.
Holding up his hand. I mean,
tough to tell. I mean,
it's probably the most fired up we've seen the dugout be all game. I mean, with good reason. Harbor Hawks are up by 8 runs and have been since the top of the 5th.
Yeah, that bullpen, it's a new thing. I don't know when they started it, maybe a week or so ago, but anytime the Harbor Hawks do anything at all offensively, the bullpen will yell that player's name or make noise until they give a tip to a wave or a hat tip to the bullpen.
Now at the plate is Urso. He takes the first pitch for a strike. The 0-1 to Urso, and line to left field, but caught by Pepe, and he'll make a quick throw to first, and that will keep Bulger there.
Nice job by Rocco to read that one, get under it, make a catch, and a good bounce back by Jackson Hyannis after the hit by pitch. Although he's had some traffic, Jackson Hyannis has been as dependable as ever in this ballgame.
That he has, and he just has one more batter to take care of this inning in Logan Beard. He's already struck out twice today. Watch the first one come in for a strike.
Yeah, go Birds.
And with the highway behind us, that means you'll hear some honks and some yelling from cars passing by. We just heard a go Birds, but I think that they probably were driving too fast to see the scoreboard.
Yeah. Nice chirp, Bria.
So 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th. It's 9-1 for anyone listening in the car on the radio. Hyannis' pitch comes in, the 0-2 down in the dirt. Count moves to 1-2. Hyannis still dealing with Bulger on first, who got hit by a pitch. The 1-2 up high, and Beard just has to kind of lunge out of the way for that one. So count evens up at 2-2 with 2 outs. Bulger at first. Hyannis gets the sign, gets set, and deals, and fouled back by Beard. I think that hit off of the home plate umpire, Bland. He's really getting just beat up there today.
Yeah, it's a tough job and a thankless job at that is umpiring, especially in a high-level league like this, the Cape Cod Baseball League, where so many players have things on the line every at-bat. So nice job by all the umpires tonight.
Count remains at 2-2 for Emis. The pitch comes into Beard, and he swings and misses at a ball in the dirt to get the final out of the inning. So we will head to the top of the 9th for most likely the Harbor Hawks' last appearances at the plate. It's still 9-1. This is Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
That chip on the shoulder, that started at a very, very young age. People's expectations are, they're cool, they're fun, but mine are bigger.
When you play in New York, they want to see winners. It doesn't matter if it's a Monday or a Friday or a Saturday. You gotta come with it, or those fans will let you know.
Pick one thing from me, pick one other thing from another player, make it your own, you turn to who you want to be.
What motivates me is the unknown. You know, how good can I be? You get away from the lights, you get away from the camera.
Mientras más presente yo esté en la caja de batería, más éxito tengo.
Man, how can you not keep it fun, man? This is a kid's game.
If you could go back and tell 10-year-old Francisco one thing, what would it be?
You're a bad mother.
Back at the top of the 9th inning, Harbor Hawks lead 9-1 over the Firebirds as Sirota, McConnell, and Cumming will head to the plate.
Yeah, Mike Sirota has wasted no time destroying the baseball in the blue and orange. 2 for 4 tonight, Bria, and that average sits at a comfortable 471 through his first week as a Hawk.
Watches the first one go by him for a ball outside. Yeah, that's just a little impressive.
Yeah, right. Some guys have the adjustment. Obviously, he had some time with Brewster, but he did have a little bit of a layoff between appearances with the Whitecaps and the Harbor Hawks, but he's just right back at it, and he's going to definitely turn the attention of a lot of scouts who are in attendance.
The 1-1. And in there for a strike. Sirota walks out of the batter's box for a second. Now down in the count, 1-2. Here comes the pitch. And chopped to the third baseman, Urso. He'll fire in time to Jones for the first out of the top of the 9th. And that gives way for Cole McConnell, who might just be one of the hottest Harbor Hawk hitters as of late. Especially in this game, he has a home run.
And going through some players that are draft eligible on this Harbor Hawk roster, we've seen Jacob Campbell, Brody McCullough, a couple of those big names, Justin Hyannis, but another one, Cole McConnell, is draft eligible, somebody who could be hearing his name called tomorrow, so a big day coming up for him in addition to Justin Hyannis, Ethan Hammerberg, Tito Flores, Phil Matulia as well, so big thank you to Gabby Vitale for putting that list together.
And Cole swings at a ball in the dirt, quickly making the count 0-2.
Sorry, there's a bat boy fight right now in the Harbor Hawk dugout as McConnell goes down on strikes for that's the second out of the inning, I think. Yeah, it is. Yes, it is. Wow. Royal Rumble over there in the bat boy waiting area. Sirota goes down, McConnell goes down swinging. 2 up, 2 down here on the top of the 9th for the Hawks.
Now Brendan Cumming at the plate. Quickly chops one on the third base side, and Ursa will just put that one in his pocket. So Brendan Cumming with an infield single to
extend the inning a little bit here, as that'll bring up Poncho Ruiz once again. Nice job by Cumming to beat that one out, showing his speed as a center fielder.
Now Poncho Ruiz at the plate with 2 outs and a runner on. He's already done some damage at the plate today as he watches the first one come in high for a ball. Telfer still on the mound for the Firebirds. Came in last inning. He's worked his way to 1 2/3 innings, 3 Ks. Giving up 2 hits, still no runs, but has definitely faced a little bit of adversity here. So the 2-0 to Poncho. Just gets the inside corner down low for a strike, so 2-1 count, 2 outs, and we hear the Go Birds once again from the highway.
Yeah.
Once again, pleading for you to tune into this broadcast on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
People in the community passing by are hoping for a late rally for the Firebirds, but the Hawks are going to do their best to thwart any late attempt, as Wes Burton is warming up in the arm barn in left field. Hawks pitching's been great tonight, something we haven't highlighted in a little bit. It's been Jake Berry, who went 4 innings as a starter, 1 run allowed. Austin Strickland, 2 innings of shutout baseball, followed by Jackson Emis, another 2 innings of shutout baseball. So the bullpen, 4 combined innings of shutout baseball.
Comes the 2-2 from Telfer. Makes the count full for Poncho Ruiz. Don't want to give him too much. He's already 2 for 3 on the day.
You can see that tonight. You can see that currently with Telfer's attacking Ruiz on the outside part of the plate, not looking to give him anything inside that he can turn on. Yeah, 3-2, 2 outs per, the runner will be in motion.
The payoff pitch and popped up by Ruiz. That's in shallow right field. Humphrey calling for it and will make the catch. So a little bit of a threat there for Telfer, but he gets out of the inning. And the Firebirds have 1 more chance for a comeback. It's 9-1 with the Hawks on top. Stay with us.
What are you looking forward to?
Adding a takeout window.
And more locations.
Paying off my student loans.
Juggling my 4 small businesses and staying sane.
Raising my allowance.
Finishing my painting and starting the next one.
Catching a keeper. Cashing anything.
Making the most of my retirement.
Checking my balance and hopefully having one.
Whatever you want for your family, your business, or your community, talk to us at Cape Cod 5, because we're looking forward to helping you. Coke Zero is now Coke Zero Sugar, with great Coke taste. Some people were excited to hear the news, some were skeptical. So we're not going to have the star of the show you're watching come out and say, "You'll love it." No special jingle written by this week's hottest pop star. No famous internet celebs who happen to be holding the label just so. Okay, maybe just one little pour shot. The only thing that will make you believe Coke Zero Sugar has great Coke taste is trying it yourself. Ice cold Coke Zero Sugar. Try one today.
We've got 1 more half inning of baseball for you. It's 9-1 with the Harbor Hawks on top at Eldredge Park. And what better way to end it than with Wes Burton on the bump. It's definitely one of the friends of the broadcast booth.
Yeah, Wes Burton has certainly worked a few of these situations before where the team's up, but they like him in the 9th inning. He's composed on the mound, throws strikes, and has a good fastball. So they'll go to him often when the Harbor Hawks are up relatively big in the 9th inning of a game. So another appearance here for Wes, and a good chance for him to get some more work in as he gets to face 8, 9, and 1 in the Firebirds order. And Bria, we are just 3 outs away from another Harbor Hawk win, which would have been a bit bigger tonight if Kitsui had lost, but unfortunately They finished up a 2-1 victory over Harwich, but with a win tonight, the Harbor Hawks still remain just 1 point back of the Katuitt Kettleers, still setting up for a close race down the stretch, and the Harbor Hawks, really, any of these nights have a chance to take over first place. Some other scores from around the league. Chatham currently leading YD 6-2. Brewster has gone final with Bourne 2-1, the victory for the defending champion, the Whitecaps. And we have ourselves another tie, 4-4, Wareham and Falmouth. No winner could be decided, so those two teams each get 1 point. Your scores from around the league, and of course, the Harbor Hawks 9, Firebirds 1.
Now the last chance for the Firebirds here. Nick McCleary at the plate faces Wes Burton. First pitch goes down low for a ball. Wes comes in with a 4.27 ERA, 6 1/3 innings pitched. As the 1-0 comes in, and
Poor guy behind the plate has been hit down 3 times in the side of the mask. But fortunately, luckily he's okay. Wes Burton, though, Bria, 2 balls, not particularly close to the zone, unfortunately, for Wes.
he's had a little trouble with that this season.
He didn't pitch a lot at Ole Miss this season, right? So he's still kind of getting into the groove of a full season of pitching.
The 2-0 in there for a strike.
Trying to see if I can get a velocity, but it doesn't appear the radar gun is working, unfortunately, here at Eldredge Park. But it does look like Wes is throwing 92, 93. Eye test.
The 2-1 up and inside, so a 3-1 count against Nick McCleary. He's already walked today. That was his last time up. On deck is the catcher Connor Burns, and then Nate Furman, the DH. So the 3-1 comes in and down low, so a leadoff walk for Wes Burton to Nick McCleary. That's his second walk of the day, and now Connor Burns up to the plate.
Yeah, the Firebirds certainly looking to put together a rally here and at least go out with a couple of runs. It always gives your team confidence when you can score late in a ball game, even in a blowout like this, 9-1. If you can scratch across a couple runs, it gives your team something to carry into tomorrow. That's what the Firebirds are going to look to do here. And I mean, if you're Orleans, just one batter at a time, just keep passing it on to the next guy, and that's what they've done to start the inning.
Now the first pitch to Burns. Fastball up high, so 1-0 count. McCleary off of first. Wes's last appearance was at home versus Falmouth. He gave up no runs. So he gets Burns to swing, 1-1 count. Worked himself into a bases loaded situation, but then got himself out of it. It's also one of those pitchers that shows a lot of emotion on his face. He went back into the dugout after that one, pumping his fists.
Yeah, it's fired up. I mean, you walk the bases loaded, but to get a couple of punch-outs and battle around danger certainly boosts your confidence.
As Burns fouls that one back over the press box.
Our last trip to Orleans this season.
Well, it's been a good run here.
Yeah,
I mean,
has.
the Harbor Hawks have showed a lot of power.
It's at 17 runs across 2 games here.
Wow, more quick math.
Yeah, big night for the brain.
And Burton gets Burns to swing. That's his first K of the evening. So 1 out in the bottom of the 9th. McCleary still stands at first base, but now the order turns over to Nate Furman. He's had 1 hit on the day. That was a single in the bottom of the 5th, but that's been about it. And Firebirds not really stringing together that many hits tonight.
Yeah, speaking of hits, the Harbor Hawks have 8 of their 9 starters tonight. All have a hit, and the one guy without one is Riku Nishida, which is certainly surprising as Riku is .268 average now. It's one of the top on the team. He came in batting .285. Just a tough day at the dish for Riku, but he's been certainly near perfect defensively, if not perfect so far. But yeah, hits have been tallied up Plenty tonight for the Hawks with 12 of those to just the 6 for Orleans.
Burton's pitch to Furman comes in for a strike.
That's a good pitch by Wes, and starting to attack the zone a little bit more. You see him get more confident with each pitch. Starting to establish the inside part of the plate as well.
So a 1-1 count with 1 out and a runner on first. Burton looks over there over his shoulder, winds up and deals, and Furman fouls that one back into the netting. Little fight for the ball by the two bat boys. Orleans bat boy ends up winning that one. The Harbor Hawk bat boy getting a little chirped by his other friends.
Yeah, everything's a competition.
Here comes the 1-2, and fouled off now on the first base side. So Furman staying alive with 1 out and a runner on first. Here's the 1-2 again. And up high, moving the count to 2-2.
Yeah, just a bit high there.
Burton likes to take his time on the mound. Isn't afraid to slow down the tempo. Definitely not what we saw from Donye Evans.
Yeah.
The Orleans starter tonight.
He was just dominant for 3 innings, Bria. Then the 4th had unraveled for him, but you can certainly see everything there and the makeup of a really good starting pitcher.
As Furman taps one out to third base side, Jeb will have that is Rocco Pepe that's subbed in for Jeb at third, and the throw was not in time from Pepe, so 2 on with 1 out for the Firebirds, trying to mount a little rally here in the bottom of the 9th, but so a defensive substitution at third base.
So Pepe had started the game
in left field.
And Jeb is actually playing left, so they just switch. Get Mitch Jeb a little action in the outfield, it seems.
I think that's
the plan.
That's his first time there.
I believe so for the Hawks. First time in left field for Mitch Jeb. Everything else looks the same with Cummings in center, Sirota in right, Patelli at short, Riku at second, Matulia at first, and here comes the late rally for the Firebirds. First and second now with 1 out. And Bria, really quick, taking a look at what's ahead for the Hawks. Tomorrow at home against Bourne. They'll also stay at home Tuesday as Katuitt comes to town. A lot at stake in that game, so back-to-back home matchups for the Hawks. And then a 3rd straight home game, but it's not at home. It's actually going to be at Dunkin' Donuts Park in Connecticut, as Hyannis will head there with YD for an interesting battle at a very nice stadium, Dunkin' Donuts Stadium, the home to the Yard Goats.
Now Keishel up at the plate for the Firebirds. Works a quick 2-0 count.
So 3 straight home games, with 2 of them being at home in the next couple of days. Monday and off day for the Hawks, and that'll be a nice chance for these guys to get rejuvenated and relax a bit on their off days so far. They've gone fishing, big fishing excursion with the team. Also have gone to Fenway Park. We'll see what they do with this Monday's off day.
The 2-0 to Keishel in there for a strike.
There's a good bounce back pitch by Wes Burton, getting back in the zone. And, well, good news is a double play in this game. Bad news is Luke Keishel's at the plate, and he is a very good hitter.
Here comes the 2-1, called for a strike. So count evens to 2-2. Keishel steps out and has a few words with the home plate umpire, Bland, asking him a little bit about that call. He'll step back into the right side of the batter's box and give a few swings. Burton gets set, looks to second, deals, and gets Keishel swinging. So the Firebirds with just 1 out left to work with in this one. Harbor Hawks lead 9-1, but Wes Burton working with 2 runners on first and second.
It wasn't necessarily the location Wes wanted on that off-speed pitch, but it worked out. Keishel went up the ladder with him and tried to really park that ball that was kind of hanging up at the letters. And now West has to just get through Cam Jones, and we can all go home happy.
First pitch to Jones, down and away. Cam Jones 1 for 4 on the day with a single. So here comes the 1-0, fouled back into the netting. A couple scouts flinch a little bit.
It's interesting at this time of year, you see some of the scouts start to fizzle out as the draft's just tomorrow. So they're not really making any decisions tonight for tomorrow's draft. Now they're going to start their prep for the 2023 MLB draft. And a lot of the scouts you're going to see down the stretch are also from some other Division I schools looking for guys who are going to be transferred.
Burton's pitch goes into the dirt, but saved by Poncho, and both runners stay at first and second. And again, we cannot talk enough about this turnaround by Poncho Ruiz in the last couple of games. He's now established himself with a little bit of power at the plate and also really improving defensively.
Yeah, big home run tonight. He had a 2-run shot. Cole McConnell had a 2-run home run, but for Poncho, it's been a complete game for him. In addition to his offense, he's called a great game behind the plate.
And Cam Jones swings on that one, so 1 strike remaining in this game. Burton is dealing with 2 base runners on, facing Cam Jones. The 2-2 grounded to Don Patelli at short, who will fire to Riku Nishida. And that will be the final out here at Eldredge Park. The Harbor Hawks get the 9-1 victory over the Orleans Firebirds. Still 1 game off of Katuitt in the West Division, but the Harbor Hawks improved to 16-9-6 on the season, with the Firebirds going to 13-15-3. Now we saw a big offensive explosion in the 4th and 5th innings for the Harbor Hawks, and just stellar pitching, especially from the bullpen, as they worked for a shutout. But Austin, we just have one more job here tonight.
That is true.
That's to name the role of the player of the game. And I have a feeling we're going to agree on this one.
It's tough. There's a couple different guys that you could give it to, but obviously had a good start from Jake Berry in the bullpen, but nothing really jumped off the page pitching-wise. But offensively, Bria, there's a couple different guys, but you're the play-by-play lead for tonight. Let's let you go ahead and pick this one. What do you think?
Well, you had a couple guys go 2 for 4 and 2 for 5. And you had 2 guys with home runs.
Yeah.
But I think I'm going to go with Poncho Ruiz.
I'll agree with that,
We really saw a big turnaround tonight for him, and this was
exactly
just
who I was going to pick.
So we are in agreement.
We are.
Right.
Poncho Ruiz, 2 for 4. 2 for 4, that's right. Yeah, 2-run home run. And a great game behind the plate. Really, I don't think Orleans stole a base all night on Poncho. Called a great game. 1 run allowed by your pitching staff also signifies that he was locked in back there, too. All-around good win for the Hawks, and Poncho Ruiz is your Roll-A-Bump Limited Player of the Game.
Well, this has been a lot of fun here at Eldredge Park. Thank you so much for letting me step into the booth tonight. I'll be back on the sidelines tomorrow, back at McKeon Park, as the Hyannis Harbor Hawks will face the Bourne Braves again. And we will have all the action back for you on Harbor Hawks Baseball Network. Austin, I believe you will be on the call tomorrow night?
I believe so, if things stay according to plan, yeah.
All right, well, we're looking forward to it, and we'll see you all tomorrow night. For all of us here at Eldredge Park, I'm Bria Losick alongside Austin Dakuta, our wonderful producers, Abby Stokes and Ella Gibson. And of course, I have to give some shout outs to Drake Toll, who's feeling a little under the weather, but hoping to get him back soon, and Zach Berman with the night off. So just